Hello everyone, this is Fanfic Audiobook. Here you find original fan-made audio stories.
Fantasy. Immortal Emperor, you dare to steal the bride. Backhand dig your supreme bone. Part 1. 9 provinces continent. 8 heavens. The 10,000-year Emperor clan, Shu family. Surrounded by clouds and mist, various divine halls were situated atop colorful immortal clouds. The divine halls were decorated with lanterns and streamers, bustling with activity. Spirit beasts and sacred palanquins continuously flew by, landing at the foot of the Shu family's mountain. Today was the wedding day of young Master Shu Fengqiu, of the Immortal Emperor family Shu family, and Immortal Fairy Jongqing. Ha ha ha, congratulations, congratulations. I heard young Master Shu achieved the position of Immortal Emperor not long ago, and today he is marrying the renowned Immortal Fairy Jongqing. Double happiness, truly commendable. To become an Immortal Emperor, standing at the peak of this continent at just 28 years old, is almost unprecedented and will likely never be repeated. With a flick of his hand, heaven and earth are annihilated. The Shu family has gained a true treasure. Congratulations. The heavenly dome sacred land has come to congratulate young Master Shu on his wedding. The 10,000 Swords Immortal sect has come to congratulate. The Ice Crystal Immortal Palace has come to congratulate. One after another, representatives of powerful forces cupped their fists. Shu Tianyi, Shu Fengqiu's father, cupped his fist with a radiant face. Ha ha ha, everyone, you've had a long journey. Please, come in. At this very moment, inside a divine hall of the Shu family, Shu Fengqiu opened his eyes and was stunned. No way. I can transmigrate like this too. Just now, he had bought a pack of crispy noodles on Earth, and there was a winning card inside. He took out his phone, scanned the QR code to claim his prize, and then he transmigrated. The transmigration business nowadays is truly impossible to guard against. But, he wasn't a good for nothing at the start. He was the young master of a 10,000-year emperor clan. Achieving Immortal Emperor at 28. Holy cow, this is awesome. 9 provinces continent. Shu Fengqiu murmured. The 9 provinces continent is divided into 9 heavens, which are interconnected. The first heaven has the weakest overall strength, and the 9 heavens is the strongest. Each heaven has immortal sects, sacred lands, long-lived families, and various empires. The 10,000-year emperor clan Shu family is the overlord of the 8 heavens. Shu Fengqiu said, "Where is my golden finger? Where is the system that comes standard with transmigration?" Ding! Congratulations on activating the heavenly mandate villain system. Shu Fengqiu's eyes lit up. Open the system. Heavenly mandate villain system. Why do protagonists get all the love, while villains are destined to be stepping stones and foils for the protagonist? This system is dedicated to making the host a great heavenly mandate villain, seizing the child of destiny's opportunities, performing villainous deeds, and proving that being a villain can also make you invincible. Host: Shu Fengqiu. Age: 28. Bloodline: Human race. Realm: Immortal Emperor First Order Qi Refining Realm, Body Refining Realm, Acupoint Opening Realm, Supernatural Power Realm, Mystic Heaven Realm, Mystic King Realm, Law Realm, Domain Realm, Divine Sea Realm, Celestial Venerable Realm, God Emperor Realm, Heavenly Tao Realm. Each realm has 1 to 10 orders. Breaking through Heavenly Tao leads to Immortal Emperor. Physique: Pure Yang Body. Cultivation Methods: Heavenly Evolution Chaos Art, Phoenix Ode to the World Record, Great Heavenly Mandate Technique, Qianyuan Sky Art, 10,000 Thunder Heavenly Prison Lure, 9th Underworld Extinction Art. Rewards: None. System Value: 0. Heavenly Mandate Value: 10, extremely low. The system will trigger different missions upon detecting a child of destiny. If the host reduces the target's heavenly mandate value, it will be returned as system value at 10 times the amount. When the host faces a child of destiny that triggers a mission, he can perceive the other party's inner thoughts and investigate all information about that person's life. Shu Fengqiu looked at his attributes, and the corner of his mouth twitched. This is outrageous. I'm the young master of a 10,000-year Immortal Emperor family, an Immortal Emperor at only 28. If not the first, then few can compare to me. What does this heavenly mandate value of 10 mean? Heavenly mandate value represents a person's fortune. But fortune represents many things. Opportunities, future, and even life and death. He, Shu Fengqiu, had a good background, but his heavenly mandate value was ridiculously low. Putting other things aside, at least one point, he could easily die. There were too many possibilities for him to die. A sudden Immortal Emperor battle, and he is defeated and killed by an opponent. Being ambushed and assassinated by other Immortal Emperors when he goes out. being struck by lightning during a tribulation, and so on. Although immortal emperors stand at the peak, they are not invincible. What's more, Shu Fengqiu's immortal emperor status was forcibly pushed up by the Shu family with countless resources. Ding. Detected child of destiny Jongqing. Triggering mission. Heavenly mandate value 0. Mission reward. Activate the first system store. Heavenly mandate value plus 10000. Jongqing. Isn't that the person I'm marrying today? Child of destiny. Jongqing. First order child of destiny. Child of destiny levels are divided into first order to 10th order. Heavenly mandate value, 290,010. Age, 26. Bloodline, human race. Physique, heavenly ice body. Realm, divine sea realm 8th order. Combat power score, 68. Introduction, currently a first order child of destiny, the childhood sweetheart of the great child of destiny Yi Feng. In the future, she will achieve the peak with the help of the great child of destiny. Shu Fengqiu frowned. That's not right. I'm the young master of a 10,000-year emperor clan, a dignified immortal emperor. If she marries me, even without Yi Feng's help, but backed by the Shu family, her heavenly mandate value should increase, not decrease, right? So how do I make her heavenly mandate value 0? System, what about direct obliteration? Ding. The host can directly obliterate her, which will also complete the mission and directly obtain the reward. However, without the step of reducing heavenly mandate value, the 10 times system value return will be lost, unless the host doesn't care about these system values. Shu Fengqiu pondered. Then it seems the items in the system store must be quite extraordinary. Just then, another system prompt came. Ding. Detected great child of destiny Yi Feng approaching. System triggers mission heavenly mandate value 0. Mission rewards. Chaos body, undying body, heavenly doctor saint technique, heavenly mandate value plus 1 million. Oh. Shu Fengqiu raised an eyebrow. Then he checked it. Child of destiny, Yi Feng. Age, 27. Heavenly mandate value, 5887000, 5th order child of destiny. Bloodline, chaos divine race. Physique, chaos body. Realm, God Emperor realm 3rd order. Combat power score, 89. Introduction. Descendant of the Chaos Divine Race, possesses the Supreme Bone, controls the medicine Venerable Cauldron. A great genius in medical skill, alchemy, formations, and talismans. Gathers great fortune upon himself, has close relationships with various women of extraordinary status, and will surely achieve the great Tao in the near future. Yi Feng, Jongqingshui's childhood sweetheart. Shu Fengqiu stroked his chin. Today, the family arranged for him to marry Jongqingshui. This Yi Feng coming means he's here to snatch the bride, right? What the hell? A god emperor realm dares to snatch a bride from an immortal emperor. Do you think this is a female-oriented novel? In the world of female-oriented novels, even if the protagonist is invincible, those little nobodies can still jump around in front of him. All kinds of slanders, provocations, and defaming. And what do the already invincible protagonists in female-oriented novels do when faced with these? They act like saints and try to reason. You can destroy them with a flick of your finger, so what are you reasoning about? Shu Fengqiu's mouth curved slightly. You dare to snatch the bride of a villainous immortal emperor. Do you think this is a female-oriented novel? At the same time, under a tree far outside the Shu family, Yi Feng's eyes flickered with gloom. Shu Fengqiu, you deserve to die. Crack, crack, crack. Yi Feng clenched his fists. Qingshui and I are childhood sweethearts. Today, even if your 8 heavens Shu family is powerful, I will definitely snatch Qingshui away. He, Yi Feng, was born in the Yi family of an empire in the weakest first heaven of the 9 provinces continent. 8 years ago, Yi Feng accidentally obtained an ancient ring. Inside the ring, there was actually the remnant soul of an old man. It was then that he realized he possessed the world's divine bone, the supreme bone. From then on, he was invincible, slaying geniuses, destroying immortal sects, and defying the heavens. In just 2 short years, Yi Feng's name resounded throughout the first heaven. After that, he continued his journey to the stronger 9 provinces' 2nd heaven, 3rd heaven, and so on. Now, within the 9 heavens, no matter what sect it is, more or less, they have heard the name Yi Feng. 2 years ago, Yi Feng made a 3-year promise to his childhood sweetheart, Jongqing. 3 years later, no matter what achievements he had, he would definitely marry her. But he didn't expect that before the 3 years were up, Jongqing was forced by the Zhong family to marry Shu Fengqiu, the young master of the 8 heavens Shu family. And even if she married, she, Jongqing, would only be a concubine. How could he, Yi Feng, agree? A man has a reverse scale. Touching it means death. Jongqing was his, Yi Feng's, reverse scale. Swish. At this moment, a white-haired old man appeared before him. He was the remnant soul old man from the ring 8 years ago. And he was also the renowned medical saint of the 9 provinces continent. Now, with Yi Feng's help, he had already reshaped his body, and his cultivation had recovered to near its peak. Master. Yi Feng cupped his fist. Medical sage Li Qianzhou, with his hands behind his back, nodded. Fenger, are you sure you want to snatch the bride? Yi Feng nodded. Qingshe is my beloved. Her family, in order to climb up the Shu family, betrothed her to Shu Fengqiu. I haven't agreed. And I will never agree. Medical sage Li Qianzhou said. But you must know, this Shu family is an immortal emperor family that has existed for 10,000 years. They were almost invincible in these 8 heavens. Even if the Shu family has declined now, a starved camel is still bigger than a horse. There are countless immortal emperors. From the forces that came to congratulate today, you can see that the 8 heavens Shu family still reigns supreme. This is 100, even 10,000 times stronger than any force you have encountered. Yi Feng snorted coldly. In the past 8 years, I, Yi Feng, have defied the heavens, endured countless doubts, faced countless behemoths, and countless times people thought things were impossible, yet I, Yi Feng, always proved them wrong. After speaking, Yi Feng looked at medical sage Li Qianzhou. Master, you often said that those forces were 10,000, even 1,000,000 times stronger than your disciple, but now aren't they all trampled under my feet or annihilated? The Shu family now will be no different. Good. Medical sage Li Qianzhou nodded in satisfaction. What I admire is your courage to defy the heavens. The Medicine Emperor sect owed me a favor 1,000 years ago. Today, the Medicine Emperor sect will send experts to help you snatch the bride. Thank you, Master. Medical sage Li Qianzhou sighed. All I can do now is this. But you must also think of a retreat. After this incident, what will you do? Master, rest assured, your disciple has already received help from Luo Luli. Luo Luli of the Phoenix Platform. Medical sage Li Qianzhou's eyes lit up. That's right, the Phoenix Platform of the 9 heavens. Phoenix Saintess Luo Luli, a proud daughter of heaven, an ice-cold immortal fairy. She was once saved by Yi Feng. Since then, she seemed to have developed feelings for him. Yi Feng said, today, the Phoenix Platform will send people to help me. With the pressure from the Phoenix Platform, the Shu family will certainly not dare to kill me openly. If they can't kill me today, I will definitely trample the Shu family underfoot in the future. So, the Phoenix Platform is your powerful backer now. Yi Feng nodded. Yes, your disciple promises that if they help me with this matter, I will join the Phoenix Platform. It seems your relationship with this Phoenix Saintess is quite extraordinary. Yi Feng nodded. She is my beloved. Medical sage Li Qianzhou. Didn't you say Jongqing was your beloved? They both are. It's reasonable for me, Yi Feng, to have both of them. Medical sage Li Qianzhou. Are you and Luo Luli destined to be together for 3 lives? Yi Feng shook his head. Not yet, but your disciple saved her and we spent some time together. Your disciple knows she is fond of me, which can also be seen from her personally bringing people to pressure the Shu family and help me today. At this moment, their gazes turned towards a procession of spirit beasts gathered in the sky above. Several noble divine cranes pulled a red palanquin. These are the Shu family's spirit beasts. The one in the palanquin should be Jongqing. She's here, medical sage Li Qianzhou said. Master, it's time for us to enter the Shu family. Shu family main peak. This was a grand and magnificent plaza. Strong cultivators from various top families and forces across the heavens took their seats. At the very front was an extremely ornate and magnificent platform. Thousands of banquet tables were set up in the plaza. The higher a person's status, the closer their seat was to the front. At this moment, Yi Feng and his master, medical sage Li Qianzhou, were seated in the rearmost section. They listened to the conversations of those around them. This old man never imagined that young Master Shu would marry Jongqing from the first heaven. One is the youngest immortal emperor on the continent, and the other, compared to the Shu family, comes from a humble background. They are completely mismatched. What do you know? Jongqing possesses the heavenly ice body, an excellent cauldron for dual cultivation. The Shu family naturally believes this physique will be beneficial to young Master Shu's future. However, Jongqing is now the saintess of the ice god palace in the 7 heavens. This status is not bad, and becoming young Master Shu's concubine seems to be no problem. But her relationship with Yi Feng seems out of the ordinary. Yifeng might just show up. Don't say it. This Yifeng is a child of destiny, and his current background seems incredibly powerful. With his personality, he might really come. As such a child of destiny, is there a possibility that he will stir up trouble in the eight heavens today? It's truly possible. Hearing those people's words, Yifeng smiled proudly in his heart. Of course. He certainly had the ability to stir up trouble in the eight heavens. He was Yifeng. At this moment, a pillar of light connecting heaven and earth descended upon the platform in front. As the pillar of light disappeared, several Shu family members stood on the platform. Among them were Shu Tianyi, the Shu family head and Shu Fengqiu's father. Seeing this, everyone, regardless of their status, stood up and shouted in unison, "Greetings, Immortal Emperor Yi." Shu Tianyi smiled, and a voice that made people involuntarily submit came. "Thank you all for attending the wedding banquet of my son, Shu Fengqiu." Everyone echoed his words. Shu Tianyi, then, without further ado, please bring out today's groom. Above the void, winds and clouds surged, and several dragon roars echoed. 9 dragons soaring to the heavens. Roar. 9 divine dragons rose into the sky. Upon the head of one dragon, Shu Fengqiu stood with his hands behind his back. Wow! Seeing this, everyone couldn't help but exclaim. Is this young master Shu Fengqiu? An immortal emperor at 28, the future helmsman of the 10,000-year emperor clan Shu family. Seeing him today, he is indeed like a celestial being. His bearing is extraordinary. Looking at it this way, in this world, perhaps only Saintess Luo Luli of the Phoenix platform and a few other divine maidens are worthy of him. On the day of the wedding, 9 members of the Dragon clan are invited to create such an atmosphere. This 10,000-year emperor clan Shu family has such a grand display. Even for a concubine, it's like this. For the main wife, it's unimaginable. Crack crack. Yifeng looked up at that figure, his eyes slightly bloodshot, and clenched his fists. To be honest, he was very envious, even jealous. He was just born well. He was forcibly pushed to the Immortal Emperor realm with countless resources, his foundation is unstable, he has cultivation but no strength. If I advance to the heavenly Tao, I might even have a chance to kill an Immortal Emperor across ranks. Yifeng thought coldly. Shu Tianyi said, please bring out today's bride, the daughter of the Zhong clan, Saintess Jongqing of the Ice God Palace. Chirp. Several phoenix cries. 9 noble phoenixes flew from the other side of the sky. On the head of one phoenix stood a woman in a red dress. Subsequently, the 9 phoenixes and divine dragons intertwined and circled, forming the magnificent spectacle of dragons and phoenixes bringing prosperity. Zhongqing's parents, seated closer to the front, were beaming with joy at such a breathtaking scene. They wished they could stand up and shout to everyone, see. That's my daughter. Yifeng looked at that figure, clenching his fists. Qingshe. Good, good, good. What a Shu Fengqiu. What a Shu family. What a grand display. He would cut down arrogant people like Shu Fengqiu. Zhongqing stood there, and even facing such a scene, she couldn't help but raise her head. Zhongqing looked at Shu Fengqiu before her. In that instant, she couldn't help but be amazed. So handsome, so powerful. Is this the youngest immortal emperor? It seems, marrying him, becoming his concubine, might not be so bad after all. No. Zhongqing secretly shook her head. She had brother Yifeng. She had always deeply loved brother Yifeng. But, Shu Fengqiu was so outstanding, and this was the 10,000-year emperor clan Shu family. Brother Yifeng is far inferior to him. This thought suddenly popped into Zhongqing's mind. Initially, she had a glimmer of hope that Yifeng would come to snatch her away. But after many restless nights, Zhongqing felt that marrying Shu Fengqiu was not bad, and it was a great opportunity for her. Especially after witnessing the Shu family's display today. The noble Phoenix clan was even beneath her feet. This sense of vanity was immensely satisfied. This was what she, Zhongqing, deserved. Only Shu Fengqiu could give it to her. Brother Yifeng truly fell short by a lot. It would be best if he didn't come. Please don't come. I'm worried about your safety, not for any other reason. However, above the void, Zhongqing looked down, and her pupils constricted. She saw a familiar figure. Brother Yifeng. In that instant, she felt a little excited. But then it vanished into thin air. No, please, don't come to snatch me away. Otherwise, if something unexpected happened, what would she do if she couldn't marry Shu Fengqiu? She hadn't seen such a display before. After seeing it today, she truly felt that the gap between people could be so vast. Brother Yifeng was truly so inferior. And Yifeng saw Zhang Qingshui's gaze directed at him from above the void. Yifeng smiled slightly, muttering softly, Qingshui, I'm here. However, the next second, Zhang Qingshui quickly averted her gaze. Yifeng frowned at the sight. Why did Qingshui avert her eyes? Then, Yifeng's brows relaxed. He knew. Zhang Qingshui was afraid her gaze would be seen by others, thus drawing attention to him, Yifeng. She was protecting him. Fool, I know you're worried about my safety and don't want me to come snatch you away, but how could I let you suffer? Xu Fengqiu looked at Zhang Qingshui before him. Indeed beautiful. As expected of a fairy ranked 99th on the continent's fairy ranking. Because the child of destiny was within his line of sight, Xu Fengqiu could perceive her inner thoughts. Therefore, Xu Fengqiu was perfectly clear about what Zhang Qingshui was thinking at this very moment. On Earth, wouldn't this just be a gold digger, a green tea girl? Such a fickle, ungrateful, and materialistic woman. Xu Fengqiu would certainly not accept such a woman as his concubine. Ding, child of destiny Zhang Qingshui's favorability towards you plus 20, Yifeng's destiny value minus 10,000, your system value plus 100,000. Yifeng's destiny value was so high, it must have benefited from some women in many aspects. Zhang Qingshui, with her heavenly ice body, would become his cauldron in the future. Now that she was about to leave him, Yifeng's destiny value would naturally decrease. Xu Fengqiu glanced casually at Yifeng below, a slight smirk playing on his lips. Whoosh! Xu Fengqiu and Zhang Qingshui simultaneously leapt and flew towards the platform. At this moment, Zhang Qingshui reached out her hand to Xu Fengqiu in midair. She wanted to hold Xu Fengqiu's hand, thereby making Yifeng retreat in the face of difficulty. And Xu Fengqiu, sensing her movement, directly wrapped his arm around her waist in midair. That's right. He was purely doing it to humiliate that Yifeng. This was the behavior a villain should have. Ding, feeling Yifeng's Dao heart slightly crumbling, his destiny value minus 10,000, system value plus 100,000. Strong cultivators from various forces below cheered and jeered. And Zhang Qingshui secretly rejoiced in her heart. Whatever else she might lack, her appearance was impeccable. It seemed Xu Fengqiu was quite satisfied with her after all. Seeing this, Yifeng stood up in anger, trembling all over. That was his woman. Let go of your filthy hand. Cough, cough. His master, medical sage Li Qianqiu, cleared his throat, signaling him not to act rashly yet. After all, the people from the Phoenix platform hadn't arrived yet. A system notification appeared in Xu Fengqiu's mind. After the two landed, Zhang Qingshui immediately nestled into Xu Fengqiu's embrace. She secretly glanced at Yifeng out of the corner of her eye. Brother Yifeng, with this, you should understand my feelings, right? Please don't stand out. It's best to quietly leave now. Compared to Xu Fengqiu, you are truly too inferior. Crack crack crack. Seeing this, Yifeng clenched his fists. Seeing the woman he loved in another man's arms, under the gaze of so many people. He felt so awful. Arg arg arg. Yifeng gritted his teeth. Qingshui, I know you are sacrificing yourself, wanting me to leave heartbroken, but how could I not know your thoughts? You are protecting me. Don't worry, I will definitely take you away. I'm not afraid. Even if there are thousands of people, I will go forth. Zhang Qingshui saw that Yifeng had not left, and her delicate brows furrowed slightly. Why isn't he leaving yet? So annoying. Father. Xu Fengqiu bowed to Xu Tianyi. Zhang Qingshui also bowed slightly. Qingshui greets senior Xu. Xu family head Xu Tianyi laughed heartily. Ha ha ha, good. Then, Xu Tianyi stood up with his hands behind his back, his gaze fixed on Zhang Qingshui. Qingshui, are you willing to become my son Xu Fengqiu's concubine? I am willing. Zhang Qingshui said without hesitation. Seeing this, Yifeng truly couldn't hold back any longer. Even if the Phoenix platform hadn't arrived, he had to act. Crash. Yifeng directly overturned the table. I am not willing. Zhang Qingshui. Arg arg arg. Why did you stand out? So annoying. The sudden scene also caused an uproar throughout the venue. Everyone's gaze turned towards that young man, Yifeng. Yifeng also enjoyed the feeling of being looked at with such shocked eyes. Beside him, his master, medical sage Li Qianqiu, only frowned but said nothing. Whoosh. Yifeng. He is Yifeng. Indeed. Given Yifeng's personality, he was bound to come and snatch the bride, but I didn't expect him to be so bold. This is the 10,000-year Emperor clan Xu family. But as far as I know, Yifeng has defied the heavens all these years, enveloped by great destiny. Now, the top sects he is on good terms with are not few, and it is said that Tianyu Holy Land is one of them. Even Phoenix platform is involved. No wonder he dared to come to the Shu family. So he now has such a powerful background. Today, it seems there's a good show to watch. The Shu family really has to consider Tianyu Holy Land and Phoenix platform. Lu Union of Tianyu Holy Land, is she his master? Hiss. Yi Feng looked at Zhang Qingshe on the platform and said, Qingshe, I'm here. Shu Tianyi asked indifferently, with his hands behind his back, who are you, sir? Yi Feng said calmly, Yi Feng. Oh. Yi Feng. What is your intention? Yi Feng. To snatch the bride. Then, Yi Feng pointed at Zhang Qingshe on the platform and said, Qingshe is my childhood sweetheart. I made a 3-year promise to her. How can she be coerced by your Shu family? Today, I am here to take her back. Who dares to stop me? Zhang Qingshe. Just as Shu Tianyi was about to say something, Shu Fengqiu stepped forward and said, Father, I will handle my own affairs. Shu Tianyi nodded. Shu Fengqiu looked down at Yi Feng from above and said indifferently, You dare to snatch the Immortal Emperor's bride. Ha 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 ha. Yi Feng burst into laughter. I, Yi Feng, have roamed 3,000 miles across the world, defying the heavens. Is there anything in this world I dare not do? Today, even if your Shu family is powerful, even if there are countless immortal emperors, I, Yi Feng, will. Slap. Before he could finish speaking, Shu Fengqiu flicked his hand through the air. A crisp slap sound was heard, and Yi Feng was directly sent flying, his body spinning more than a dozen times in the air, spitting blood as he fell to the ground. A mere clown, Shu Fengqiu said indifferently. Yi Feng immediately got up, his face full of anger, pointing at Shu Fengqiu. You. Shu Fengqiu walked slowly on the high platform with his hands behind his back and said, You want to snatch the bride. This emperor will not stop you, on the condition that your childhood sweetheart, is she willing to go with you? If she is willing today, what if this emperor lets her go with you? Hearing this, everyone looked at each other. Shu Fengqiu is probably going to lose face. Zhang Qingshe and Yi Feng are childhood sweethearts, and Yi Feng even made a 3-year promise to her. How could she not be willing to go with Yi Feng? No, it's not that simple. Zhang Qingshe still has family here. If she really dares to leave, isn't she afraid that her family will die here? Shu Fengqiu said they could leave, but he didn't say Zhang Qingshui's family could leave. That's right, Zhang Qingshe will definitely refuse out of concern for her family's safety. Just as everyone finished guessing, Shu Fengqiu continued. Of course, this emperor also promises that if she is willing to go with you, this emperor will not harm her family in the slightest. Yi Feng was stunned. Is that true? If anything happens to her family, no matter who kills them, everyone can blame this emperor, Shu Fengqiu said. Whoosh. Hearing this, everyone was in an uproar. How dare he? Once these words are out, Zhang Qingshe has no worries, so how could she not leave with Yi Feng? Is he really not afraid of Zhang Qingshe leaving with Yi Feng? Is he really not afraid of losing face? This young Master Shu is truly unfathomable. Where does his confidence come from? Yi Feng laughed loudly. Ha ha ha, good. You, Shu Fengqiu, are a man. After speaking, he reached out to Zhang Qingshe on the high platform. Qingshe, you heard it, right? I'm here to pick you up. Come with me. Zhang Qingshe bit her lip slightly. She glanced at Shu Fengqiu's back, standing with his hands behind him, and then at Yi Feng, who was reaching out below. One was the Immortal Emperor Shu Fengqiu. The other was her childhood sweetheart, Yi Feng. They had no comparability whatsoever. Although Yi Feng had boundless prospects in the future, Shu Fengqiu had already stood at the peak. The 10,000-year Emperor clan was not just talk. Zhang Qingshe shook her head. Brother Yi Feng, you should go back. What? Hearing this, Yi Feng's eyes widened, his face full of disbelief. Everyone's eyes also widened. Ah. Zhang Qingshe and Yi Feng were childhood sweethearts, and they had a 3-year promise. Shu Fengqiu even promised not to kill. She actually refused to leave with Yi Feng. No one expected it to be like this. What do you mean, go back? Qingshe, I'm here to take you away, Yi Feng said, a little anxious. Zhang Qingshe shook her head. I'm not leaving. You go back. Yi Feng shouted excitedly. No. You're lying to me. You must be lying to me. Qingshe, did they have something on you? Tell me. Zhang Qingshe shook her head. No, after much deliberation over many days, I simply feel that young Master Shu is more suitable for me. No. Impossible. Yi Feng roared. I don't believe it. Absolutely impossible. You must come with me today. Zhang Qingshe still shook her head. Yi Feng, I will never let you suffer here. Jongqing gritted her teeth and said, am I not being clear enough? How annoying. Yi Feng roared. I don't believe it. Give me a reason. Jongqing gradually lost her patience. The reason is that you and I, back then, were just young and ignorant. It was all fake. Now I have secretly fallen for young Master Shu, so why should I go with you? Yi Feng's face turned ashen, full of disbelief, and he muttered to himself with his head down. No, impossible, impossible. At this moment, he felt like a clown. Ding. Detecting the collapse of Yi Feng's Dao heart, his destiny value minus 300,000. Your system value plus 3 million. The others also looked at Yi Feng as if he were a clown. The surrounding murmurs of disapproval were like thousands of needles constantly pricking Yi Feng's heart. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It absolutely cannot be like this, Yi Feng muttered repeatedly. How could this be? That was his Qingxie. Crack, crack. Yi Feng clenched his fists, his fingernails almost embedded in his flesh. Jongqing said coldly, today, it's impossible for me to leave with you. Give up on that thought. Shu Fengqiu smiled and said, did you hear that? Yi Feng looked up, his eyes flashing with anger as he pointed at Shu Fengqiu. Shu Fengqiu, I don't know what methods you used. Good. This humiliation today, I, Yi Feng, will definitely repay it 100-fold in the future. Shu Fengqiu, give young master 1 year. Young master will flatten your 10,000-year emperor clan. After speaking, Yi Feng flung his arm, preparing to leave. At this moment, Shu Fengqiu's ethereal yet majestic voice came, leaving. Did this emperor permit it? Do you think this is a game? And a 1-year promise? Then, the terrifying pressure of an immortal emperor was released from Shu Fengqiu's body. The moment it was released, the world changed color. Everyone's expressions also changed dramatically. Yi Feng frowned deeply. That's not right. When he used to make such promises of a few years, no matter what the other party's identity was, they would always let him go. Why wouldn't Shu Fengqiu let him go now? Shu Fengqiu's eyes narrowed slightly. You dare to snatch the Immortal Emperor's bride. In this Shu family, do you think you can come and go as you please? Yi Feng's brow suddenly furrowed. PFF'd. A mouthful of fresh blood was directly spat out. Then, Shu Fengqiu, from his elevated position, raised his hand and lifted Yi Feng through the air as if he were grabbing a chick. He truly didn't understand. Such a weak person, whether in the past or now, he had faced countless powerful individuals who were much stronger than him and could easily kill him. How could these powerful individuals not kill him? Isn't it very simple? Shu Fengqiu said, Yi Feng, a mere ant, dares to come to my Shu family and snatch my, Shu Fengqiu's, bride. Do you really think you're something? As he spoke, Shu Fengqiu's hand tightened slightly. Ah! Yi Feng's bones seemed to be crushed, and he let out a painful scream. No one dared to step forward and speak. Stop. At this moment, a voice suddenly came over. A shout of, stop. Once again heightened the suspense. Everyone's gaze turned towards the figure who had shouted. Shu Fengqiu also looked over, then his eyes narrowed slightly. Master. Yi Feng, held in the air by an invisible force, kicked his legs and cried out. Medical sage Li Qianqiu, with his hands behind his back, looked at Shu Fengqiu, cupped his fist, and said, Young Master Shu, Yi Feng is my disciple. Today's incident was due to his impulsiveness. I ask that you, for the sake of medical sage Li Qianqiu, let him go. As soon as these words were spoken, the crowd was once again in an uproar, their eyes wide. What? Medical sage Li Qianqiu. Didn't he perish? He's still alive. No wonder Yi Feng has grown so rapidly over the years, it turns out he's the medical sage's disciple. A medical sage is an existence every sect desires. His medical skill and alchemy skills are, for a sect, no less valuable than 3 immortal emperors. After all, he can refine 9th grade, even 10th grade pills. Some heaven-defying pill formulas are only known to him. Shu Fengqiu smiled. Medical sage Li Qianqiu. Yi Feng, thinking of something, suddenly shouted, No, master. Don't be afraid of him. Let's see if he dares to kill me. Then Yi Feng roared at Shu Fengqiu, If you kill me, Tianyu Holy Land and Phoenix Platform will not let you and the Shu family off. The Phoenix Saintess Luo Luli is my confidant, and our fate is sealed for 3 lives. How dare you kill me? Everyone was shocked. What? The Phoenix Platform's Phoenix Saintess Luo Luli is actually his, Yi Feng's, confidant. I knew Yi Feng had a deep connection with Phoenix Platform, but I never imagined it was this kind of relationship. Then that means people from Phoenix Platform are probably already on their way. This Yi Feng, young Master Shu and the Shu family, will be truly difficult to kill. If it were just some minor connection, it wouldn't be much, but the Phoenix Platform's Phoenix Saintess is Yi Feng's confidant. If the Shu family kills him, it's tantamount to killing Luo Luli. Although the Shu family might not necessarily fear Phoenix Platform, still. Phoenix Platform's influence is immense, and its allies are countless. This Shu Fengqiu, however, ignored Yi Feng's words and looked at medical sage Li Qianqiu, saying, "Do you mean you want to die for Yi Feng?" Huh. Medical sage Li Qianqiu was stunned for a moment. He didn't mean that. He thought he was just stepping out to buy some time. People from Phoenix Platform would surely arrive soon. At worst, he could join the Shu family and make pills for them. Just get through this hurdle first. He didn't mean that at all. It's not that I am. Medical sage Li Qianqiu hadn't finished speaking. Shu Fengqiu pointed a finger towards the sky. The clear sky suddenly turned dark. Above the void, a huge vortex appeared. From within the vortex, a 10,000-meter giant sword slowly emerged, as if piercing the heavens. Medical sage Li Qianqiu looked up, his pupils contracting. This isn't right. According to past plots with Yi Feng, the opponent wouldn't directly attack at this point. Shu Fengqiu said, "Good, then this emperor will fulfill your resolve." Medical sage Li Qianqiu looked utterly bewildered. "Ah, no, it's not like that." Yi Feng's eyes narrowed, and he roared, "How dare you? My master is the continent's medical sage. If you kill him, I, Yi Feng, will surely slaughter your Shu family in the future." Medical sage Li Qianqiu. Medical sage Li Qianqiu looked back and forth, bewildered. "No, you fooling, don't provoke him, godfool it." Swish. Shu Fengqiu's immortal emperor's might descended. How could medical sage Li Qianqiu, a martial artist who had just recovered his heavenly Dao realm cultivation, be qualified to withstand the immortal emperor's might? Although medical sage Li Qianqiu tried to resist in that instant. Although Shu Fengqiu's immortal emperor status was forcibly boosted by resources. But, an immortal emperor is an immortal emperor. The 10,000-meter giant sword descended. Medical sage Li Qianqiu's physical body was directly annihilated. Jongqing delicate brows furrowed slightly. She didn't feel any particular emotion. How many times had she warned Yi Feng? Told him to leave, but he insisted on staying. Now look what happened. Whose fault is it? Could she blame Jongqing? And Phoenix Platform's Luo Luli is his confidant. Wouldn't it be better for him to be with her, whispering sweet nothings? Why did he have to come here? What if Shu Fengqiu became unhappy, and the marriage was off? What would she do? Everyone showed expressions of shock. What a decisive Shu Fengqiu. Is this the power of an immortal emperor? Actually, I didn't believe that Shu Fengqiu had already achieved immortal emperor status. Many on the continent even thought it was a rumor, spread by the declining Shu family to save face. To see it today, it's actually true. Hiss, how terrifying. No. Master. Yi Feng, seeing this scene, widened his eyes and let out a heart-wrenching roar. Ding. Yi Feng's destiny value decreased by 500,000. Your system value increased by 5 million. Shu Fengqiu. Satisfying. In the dust. Medical sage Li Qianqiu's soul flew out. He had just managed to reconstruct his physical body. In the end, all his efforts were in vain. Medical sage Li Qianqiu glanced at Shu Fengqiu, who stood like an overlord. Why was this young Master Shu different from everyone else? He directly attacked without a word. Others, even with the power to easily kill them, would just babble endlessly. All sorts of flashy moves, but they wouldn't strike. Even if they did, they wouldn't use a killing blow. All the enemies he and Yi Feng had encountered before were like this. That's why, over so many years, facing countless enemies they couldn't possibly contend with, they always managed to turn danger into safety. Either they escaped, or Yi Feng's backing arrived in time to rescue them. At this moment, medical sage Li Qianqiu, now just a soul, looked at Yi Feng and couldn't help but grit his teeth. What are you yelling about? I told you not to be impulsive. I told you to wait until the people from Phoenix Platform arrived before speaking. What's your rush? I'm truly fed up. Medical sage Li Qianqiu's mentality was about to collapse. It was a matter that could have been easily resolved. When the Phoenix Platform experts arrived, they would exert pressure, and would Shu Fengqiu still dare to act like this? He just had to show off. The people hadn't even arrived yet, and he just had to step forward. Just then, Shu Fengqiu directly reached out to medical sage Li Qianqiu, who was a soul body, and pinched his soul. Yi Feng's pupils contracted. Master. Shu Fengqiu, stop. You want to destroy my master's soul. Try it if you dare. I, Yi Feng, will never let you go. I, Yi Feng, will make you regret this for your entire life. Hearing Yi Feng's shout, medical sage Li Qiancho's soul trembled. Medical sage Li Qiancho. I beg you. Stop fooling shouting. Medical sage Li Qiancho quickly shouted, no, young Master Shu, don't be impulsive, don't be impulsive. Don't believe Yi Feng's words. At his realm, the destruction of his physical body wasn't truly perishing. But if his soul was destroyed, then he would truly be dead. Yi Feng roared, Master, don't be afraid of him, he wouldn't dare. The people from Phoenix platform will arrive soon. Shu Fengqiu, you might not know, but my master is an honorary elder of Phoenix platform. At the same time, you wouldn't be unaware of the medical sage's background, would you? Medicine God Mountain. Even if Master has left Medicine God Mountain, killing him in front of the world is slapping Medicine God Mountain in the face. After speaking, Yi Feng shouted, let alone you, Shu Fengqiu, even if your father came, he would never dare. If you have the guts, try it. Medical sage Li Qiancho. Are you stupid? Why are you provoking him? Medical sage Li Qiancho roared internally. No. No. Young Master Shu, I can refine top-grade pills for your Shu family. Medical sage Li Qiancho's pupils contracted, and he quickly shouted. The next instant, Shu Fengqiu's hand tightened. Ah! With a tragic cry, medical sage Li Qiancho's soul was crushed into ashes. Shu Fengqiu said indifferently, there's no need for that. Ding! Killed medical sage Li Qiancho. Yi Feng's destiny value decreased by 1 million. Your system value plus 10 million. This medical sage Li Qiancho's destiny value for Yi Feng was actually as high as 1,500,000. Keeping him was indeed useless. Medical skill. When Yi Feng's destiny value becomes 0, Shu Fengqiu will obtain the Heavenly Doctor Saint technique, probably the most top-tier medical skill in this world. Why would he need him? No. Master. Yi Feng's pupils contracted, and he let out a heart-wrenching roar. How could this be? His master, who had accompanied him for so many years, how could he have perished just like that? Everyone was shocked by Shu Fengqiu's decisive actions. They also lamented the demise of medical sage Li Qiancho. What a tragedy. 8 out of 10 reasons for medical sage Li Qiancho's death are because of Yi Feng. This Shu Fengqiu is truly decisive. I never thought that the medical sage, who had survived for many years, would die by the mouth of his own beloved disciple. It's truly regrettable. Shu Fengqiu. If you let me go today, it will be the decision you regret the most. Yi Feng's eyes were bloodshot as he glared at Shu Fengqiu. Shu Fengqiu would definitely not kill Yi Feng today. Killing him was simple, but today he had easily reduced his destiny value by 1,500,000. Shu Fengqiu still had more plans, he could easily make his destiny value 0. Then eliminate him after it's 0. Shu Fengqiu glanced at Yi Feng, then pinched him with one hand from a distance, and slowly flicked a finger of his other hand. Ah! Yi Feng let out a tragic cry. On his back, through his skin, a glowing bone could be seen being extracted from within his body. Rip! Rip! The skin on Yi Feng's back gradually split open. Ah! His screams were incessant. This is, the supreme bone. Seeing this, everyone was utterly shocked. No wonder Yi Feng is so formidable, he actually possesses the world's most top-tier supreme bone. It's over. His supreme bone is being dug out by Shu Fengqiu. Once the supreme bone is gone, he's crippled. Is Phoenix platform not coming yet? If they don't come soon, Yi Feng will be crippled today even if he doesn't die. Just then, young Master Shu, please stop. From the horizon, a voice suddenly came. Everyone's gaze turned towards the direction from which the voice came. Above the void, hundreds of figures flew through the air in a mighty procession. Then, they landed in front of them. These more than 100 people all seemed to have high cultivation. Leading them was an old man with white hair. When he sensed a familiar aura dissipate, he knew what had happened. His heart was still somewhat shocked. Then his gaze fell on Yi Feng, and he cupped his fist towards Shu Fengqiu. This humble one, Medicine Emperor Sect's Grand Elder Yao Changfeng, greets young Master Shu. Everyone exchanged glances. So it's the Medicine Emperor Sect. One of the 8 heavens' top sects. Is the Medicine Emperor Sect here to save Yi Feng? What else? This Yi Feng is indeed a great child of destiny. At such a young age, with such low cultivation, he actually has so many powerful backers, even willing to stand up against the Shu family. The Medicine Emperor Sect really has a chance to pressure the Shu family. After all, they are both top existences in the 8 heavens, and even a Grand Elder has come. Yao Changfeng then said, Medical sage Li Qiancho once saved my medicine emperor sect. I arrived late today and failed to save medical sage Li Qiancho. I ask young Master Shu, for the sake of my medicine emperor sect, to spare Yi Feng's supreme bone. Once the supreme bone is dug out, medical sage Li Qiancho's only disciple will be completely crippled. Shu Fengcho's father, Shu Tianyi, glanced at his son. He wondered what his son's next move would be. Shu Fengcho's eyes narrowed slightly, and an irresistible imperial voice came. Scram. Everyone from the Medicine Emperor sect was stunned, completely unprepared for such a situation. Jongqing, behind Shu Fengcho, her beautiful eyes sparkled with a strange brilliance. What a domineering man. What Yi Feng. A man like Shu Fengcho is the one she should have. Yao Changfeng's expression changed slightly, and he said, little friend Shu, you. Shu Fengcho said, your Medicine Emperor sect's human relations have nothing to do with my Shu family. If you want to stop this emperor, bring your entire sect and destroy my Shu family. Otherwise, scram. Whoosh. Everyone looked at Shu Fengcho in shock. Yao Changfeng secretly gritted his teeth and said, little friend Shu, it's good to leave a little room, for the future. If you don't scram within 3 breaths, all will be killed. They had never expected that Shu Fengcho, a junior, could possess such an aura. Even if he had advanced to Immortal Emperor, his experience and age were still there. His Medicine Emperor sect's Grand Elder was completely awed by Shu Fengcho. Little friend Shu, although the Shu family is strong, my Medicine Emperor sect is not without renown. 3. Yao Changfeng frowned tightly, gritted his teeth, his face full of anger, but in the end, he swallowed it. Farewell. Let's go. Yao Changfeng cupped his fist and left with the Medicine Emperor sect members, looking dejected. Shu Tianyi looked at his son, Shu Fengcho, and nodded in satisfaction. This was the might of a great emperor. Only then could he confidently entrust the future of the Shu family to Shu Fengcho. Shu Fengcho continued to dig out Yi Feng's supreme bone. Yi Feng's agonizing screams constantly echoed. The flesh on his back split open, and blood flowed more and more. The terrifying spiritual energy of heaven and earth from the supreme bone also released from the wound on his cracked back. Everyone stared greedily at the supreme bone that was gradually being dug out. Ding, due to Yi Feng's destiny value decreasing, Zhongqing destiny value minus 30,000. Shu Fengcho then said, today, this emperor has one more thing to announce. Everyone's gaze turned to Shu Fengcho. Shu Fengcho then calmly said, today, this emperor's engagement to Zhongqing is cancelled. Hearing this, Zhongqing was stunned, at a loss for what to do. No, why? She looked at Shu Fengcho with an unwilling expression. Yi Feng. It was Yi Feng. She gritted her silver teeth and glanced at Yi Feng, whose bone was being dug out. She knew that with Yi Feng coming to snatch the bride, her marriage would likely be affected. It's one thing for you to get yourself into trouble, but why did you have to harm her, Zhongqing? Why? Shu Fengcho glanced at Zhongqing and said, how could my concubine be someone you are qualified to be? What are you? But you just hugged me, and Qingshe has long been infatuated with young Master Shu. So what if I hugged you? If people look at you, you think they're infatuated with you. What are you? Everyone discussed animatedly. Although it's possible that Fairy Zhong fell in love with young Master Shu, to abandon her childhood sweetheart Yi Feng like this, what a vicious heart. Isn't this just a woman who clings to power? Just now, all the attention was on Yi Feng, and she was forgotten. How can such a person be worthy of young Master Shu? Reasonable, it should be. Young Master Shu is absolutely right. Everyone cupped their fists and shouted. Zhongqing's face was ashen. No, she couldn't lose everything. Since Shu Fengcho didn't want her, she couldn't lose Yi Feng. Just then, a phoenix cry came from the horizon. Everyone looked up in unison. Above the void, a giant phoenix led the way. Behind it, there was a phoenix feather palanquin. Around it were several powerful individuals. The phoenix platform people are here. It's the phoenix saintess's phoenix feather palanquin. Could it be that there's still a turn of events? The phoenix saintess is Yi Feng's confidant. With her personally coming, I'm afraid this supreme bone won't be completely dug out. The extremely pained Yi Feng heard the commotion and revealed a blood-covered, ferocious smile. Shu Fengcho. This supreme bone, let's see if you can still dig it out. Then he shouted to the sky, Luli, I'm here. Whoosh. The phoenix feather palanquin, and several powerful individuals from the phoenix platform landed in front of the Shu family Great Hall. A woman wearing a white immortal dress, with a veil covering her face, and an extremely noble temperament, slowly stepped out of the palanquin. Shu Fengqiu raised an eyebrow. Ding, detected the appearance of the seven-order child of destiny Luo Luli. Child of destiny, Luo Luli. Age, 25. Destiny value, 7,430,000, seven-order child of destiny. Bloodline, Phoenix divine vein. Physique, Saint spirit immortal body, 7 orifice glazed heart. Realm, Heavenly Tao realm 8th order. Combat power score, 95. Introduction. Phoenix Platform Saintess, Iceberg Fairy, ranked among the top 10 on the 9 provinces continents fairy ranking, owner of the Phoenix divine vein, born with a saint spirit immortal body, a top divine physique, 7 orifice glazed heart, rumored to be the key to obtaining a divine personality. There seems to be some heaven-defying power within her that has not yet awakened. Her future achievements are unimaginable. She is one of the few existences in the 9 provinces continent with a chance to step out of the Immortal Emperor realm. Ding, congratulations, you have triggered the quest Luo Luli's infatuation. 7 orifice glazed heart, saint spirit immortal body, plus Luo Luli's character, make her an excellent choice for an immortal companion. Quest content. When Luo Luli's favorability towards the host reaches 20, 40, 60, 80, you can receive rewards. When favorability reaches 80, you will receive Luo Luli's ultimate reward. Shu Fengqiu raised an eyebrow. Her face was covered by a veil, so her appearance was unclear. But her temperament was indeed incomparable to other women. Everyone was shocked to see the newcomer. What? That is, the rumored Holy Heart Immortal Emperor. The Phoenix Platform's Grand Elder. Holy Heart Immortal Emperor actually came. This, it seems Yi Feng's words were not false, he and Luo Luli must be destined for 3 lives, otherwise, how would a mighty figure like Holy Heart Immortal Emperor appear? The Phoenix Platform's move, the Shu family will have to be wary. At this moment, Jongqing saw the Phoenix Platform people arrive, and even Holy Heart Immortal Emperor. Her eyes also lit up. What a turn of events. Now, she couldn't curry favor with Shu Fengqiu. She could only return to Yi Feng's embrace. Otherwise, what would she do? How would the world judge her? A cheap woman, a fool who abandoned her childhood sweetheart for power. She couldn't gain power, but she absolutely couldn't end up like this. So, she could only return to Yi Feng's embrace, to explain everything, so that her persona wouldn't collapse. Moreover, Shu Fengqiu had said that no matter what, he wouldn't kill her or her family. Then Jongqing had nothing to worry about. Brother Yi Feng. Jongqing leapt down from the high platform, crying, and ran to Yi Feng, who was having his bone dug out in the void. Brother Yi Feng. Qingxie. Yi Feng opened his eyes and looked at Jongqing. Jongqing cried and said, Brother Yi Feng, I'm sorry, everything I said just now was a lie. I was afraid that if I wasn't cruel enough, you wouldn't leave, I was afraid you'd be killed. Boo hoo hoo, I was actually waiting for you all along, Qingxie knew you would definitely come. But now, I absolutely cannot watch your supreme bone be dug out. Brother Yi Feng, Shu Fengqiu forced me. After speaking, Jongqing knelt down to Shu Fengqiu. Young Master Shu, please spare me and Brother Yi Feng, okay. Luo Luli stood in the distance, stunned for a moment. What kind of plot is this? And Shu Fengqiu's mouth twitched even more. After all, he knew Jongqing's inner thoughts. What a cheap woman. Then Jongqing knelt and looked at Miss Luo. Miss Luo, please quickly save Brother Yi Feng, his supreme bone is about to be dug out. Luo Luli brought several experts from Phoenix Terrace this time, even including a Phoenix Terrace Grand Elder, Immortal Emperor Shengxin. Her purpose was for Yi Feng. At this moment, the experts of Phoenix Terrace were also quite shocked looking at Yi Feng's supreme bone. The supreme bone is a divine bone of the world. The power it grants a martial artist is extremely strong. Even an immortal emperor dreams of obtaining it. The last person to possess a supreme bone was an expert from nearly 10,000 years ago. Every time a supreme bone appears, it triggers a bloodbath across the continent. Because the supreme bone can be gouged out and fused into someone else's body. Therefore, these experts were quite shocked to see that Yi Feng actually possessed a supreme bone. Yi Feng glanced at Jongqing, his lips moving, Qingxie, I knew you were forced, you did it for me. Then Yi Feng shouted, Luli, the supreme bone is about to be gouged out, help me. Shu Fengqiu. With Phoenix Terrace helping me, you fooling try gouging out my supreme bone today. I don't believe you can succeed today. Miss Luo, Senior Shengxin, does your Phoenix Terrace intend to interfere in this matter? Shu Fengqiu asked indifferently with his hands behind his back. Xu Fengqiu had already thought of a series of ways to mess with Yi Feng. Because Xu Fengqiu knew Yi Feng's inner thoughts. Luo Luli looked at Xu Fengqiu and then bowed slightly. Young Master Xu, Yi Feng once saved my life. Today, to repay Yi Feng's life-saving grace, I implore young Master Xu to show mercy. Whatever conditions young Master Xu has, feel free to state them. Xu Fengqiu said indifferently. Today, let alone people from Phoenix Terrace coming, even if all the top forces of the entire nine heavens were to come, this emperor is determined to gouge out Yi Feng's supreme bone. Miss Luo, you are not worthy either. Luo Luli's dark eyebrows furrowed slightly. What an overbearing Xu Fengqiu. Yi Feng shouted. Luli, you can't let him succeed, otherwise I'm finished. Have the Phoenix Terrace senior take action to stop him immediately. Quick. Jongqing also panicked. No way. He won't even give face to Phoenix Terrace. Even the legendary Immortal Emperor Shengxin has shown up. Immortal Emperor Shengxin stood there with his hands behind his back and said indifferently, what a Xu Fengqiu. Xu Fengqiu continued, Senior Shengxin overpraises me. Luo Luli's beautiful eyes looked at Xu Fengqiu and asked, what if Luli insists on protecting Yi Feng today? Xu Fengqiu's eyes narrowed. If you insist on protecting him, then everyone from Phoenix Terrace shall stay as well. Whoosh. Everyone showed shocked expressions. Immortal Emperor Shengxin looked at Xu Tianyi with displeasure and asked, Immortal Emperor Yi, Your Excellency is just going to let your son act so recklessly. Xu Tianyi knew his son's thoughts. He felt it was getting a bit out of hand. But, Xu Tianyi smiled and said, what my son says today is the will of the Xu family. After saying that, Xu Tianyi stepped down slightly. In an instant, a suffocatingly terrifying power rose to the sky. The entire massive Xu family was enveloped by an exaggerated grand array. The meaning was clear, if you from Phoenix Terrace take action today, then don't even think about leaving the Xu family alive. Everyone's pupils shrank. My god. This Xu family, this Xu Fengqiu is crazy. They wouldn't really dare, would they? Hiss, this is simply unheard of. With things like this, does Phoenix Terrace still dare to take action? This Xu Fengqiu, although an immortal emperor, does he have the courage and decisiveness that a 28-year-old should have? Even those who have lived for thousands of years don't have his level of boldness. The junior is lawless, and the senior is just as indulgent. Luo Luli's dark eyebrows were tightly furrowed as she glanced at Yi Feng. Luli, save me! Yi Feng shouted. Luo Luli cupped her fists toward Xu Fengqiu. How can young Master Xu be persuaded to stop? Xu Fengqiu smiled and said deliberately, even in such a situation, Fairy Luo still doesn't plan to give up. It seems just as Yi Feng said, you are his confidant, already bound by fate for 3 lifetimes. What? Hearing this, Luo Luli was stunned. Immortal Emperor Shengxin and other experts from Phoenix Terrace also looked at each other. Xu Fengqiu, such words that slander our Phoenix Terrace saintess and the reputation of Phoenix Terrace cannot be spoken lightly. Immortal Emperor Shengxin said coldly. Xu Fengqiu knew Yi Feng's inner thoughts, so he naturally knew this was just his bragging. It was just fake, it was only his wishful thinking. Just because he saved her and traveled with her for a while, he thought she was devoted to him. But to save face and intimidate Xu Fengqiu, Yi Feng had said it himself. Xu Fengqiu was going to screw him over. Xu Fengqiu raised an eyebrow. Senior Shengxin, this junior wouldn't dare to speak nonsense. Yi Feng said it himself. It's not just my word, everyone present heard it. That's right, Yi Feng did indeed say so just now. Yes, he said the Phoenix Saintess is his confidant, bound by fate for 3 lifetimes, and wanted to use Phoenix Terrace to pressure young Lord Xu. We indeed heard it with our own ears, there is absolutely no lie. Hearing this, Luo Luli's dark eyebrows furrowed even more. When did she ever lose her heart to Yi Feng? And when were they bound by fate for 3 lifetimes? What a despicable Yi Feng. To ruin her reputation like this. She came today only to repay his life-saving grace. Regarding Yi Feng, she also felt he was a decent person with boundless potential. It hadn't been easy for him to get this far. That was all. At most, it could be considered a bit of appreciation. Luo Luli looked at Yi Feng and asked, Young Master Yi, is this true? Yi Feng's expression was ugly. Luli, I did say those things, but they aren't necessarily false, right? Although there was some exaggeration, you and I are indeed devoted to each other. Taking today to announce it to the world isn't a bad idea. Luo Luli showed displeasure. Shut up, you shameless brat. Immortal Emperor Shengxin pointed at Yi Feng and scolded him. Oh, so there's no such thing. Xu Fengqiu rubbed his chin and then said, This Yifeng actually shamelessly slandered Fairy Luo's reputation. After saying that, Shu Fengqiu flicked his finger. Ah! Yifeng's scream came again. The flesh on his back split open even more, and the supreme bone gradually became visible. Luli, I was wrong, I was wrong. Save me, please save me. Yifeng cried out miserably. Immortal Emperor Shengxin looked at Shu Fengqiu and said, "Today, my Phoenix Terrace was abrupt. I didn't expect this Yifeng to be so despicable and shameless. Luli, let's go." Wait. Luo Luli stepped forward, looked at Shu Fengqiu, and said, "Young Master Shu, regardless of everything, Yifeng saved Luli's life. I wonder if you could spare his life. Consider it as Luli repaying his kindness." Actually, Shu Fengqiu had intended to spare his life anyway. He was basically crippled. Keeping him alive was just to deduct his remaining destiny points and then kill him. Shu Fengqiu said, "Initially, this emperor did not intend to kill him, and Li Qianqiu has already died in his place. But this Yifeng still clamors about slaughtering my Shu family one day, so this emperor no longer plans to let him live." Luo Luli bowed slightly. "Please state your conditions, young Master Shu." "Conditions are unnecessary. Since Fairy Luo has pleaded with this emperor, I will give Fairy Luo face and spare his life today." With that, the timing was just right. Shu Fengqiu raised his hand. Ah! With a scream from Yifeng, the glowing supreme bone flew out, hovering in the air and emitting terrifying spiritual power. Ding! Yifeng has lost his supreme bone. His cultivation has plummeted, and his potential has plummeted. Destiny points minus 2 million. Your system points have increased by 20 million. Ding! Since Yifeng's luck has faded, Zhongqing destiny points minus 150,000. Then, Shu Fengqiu reached out, and the supreme bone fell into his palm. Thud! The unconscious Yifeng fell to the ground covered in blood. Even though Luo Luli saw this scene, she couldn't help but feel a bit of pity. But being able to save Yifeng's life was enough to repay the favor. After this, she didn't want any more involvement. In comparison, she felt that Shu Fengqiu was more of a gentleman. Yifeng was just a hypocrite. Ridiculous. Fairy Luo, take him away, Shu Fengqiu said indifferently. Luo Luli bit her red lips slightly, then bowed again. "Thank you, young Master Shu. Luli owes you a favor and will definitely visit to thank you another day. Until we meet again." Then, Luo Luli raised her hand. The people from Phoenix Terrace took him and left. Ding! Luo Luli's favorability toward you plus 10. Current favorability, 10. Ding! Phoenix Terrace has broken ties with Yifeng. Yifeng's destiny points minus 500,000. Your system points plus 5 million. Ding! Yifeng's luck has faded. Zhongqing destiny points minus 30,000. Yifeng, brother. Zhongqing knelt there in a daze. "Wait, I haven't left yet. Someone take care of me." Zhongqing was completely bewildered, not knowing what to do for a moment. Shu Fengqiu's gaze turned toward Zhongqing. Zhongqing trembled all over. Young Master Shu. Everyone present focused their attention on Zhongqing. Especially those more conservative powerful figures, they looked at Zhongqing as if they wanted to personally step forward and condemn her. Originally, she could have latched onto the Shu family, but this is all her own doing. Perhaps young Master Shu discovered that she and Yifeng were still entangled, which is why he called off the wedding. This Zhongqing is not a good person. Let's just wait and see. Now that she can't latch onto Yifeng, what can she do? If she truly is a slut, then she should be showing weakness to young Master Shu right now. If so, young Master Shu's choice is absolutely correct. Zhongqing quickly said, "Young Master Shu. Young Master Shu, I'm sorry. What I said to Brother Yifeng just now was actually against my will. I just heard that you didn't want to marry me, and I was momentarily angry with you, so I deliberately said that. Young Master Shu, please don't take it to heart. Qingxie truly fell in love with you at first sight." Hearing this, there was even a collective gasp of disbelief from the surroundings. Shu Fengqiu looked at Zhongqing and said coldly, "What did you just say? This emperor forced you. What did this emperor force you to do? Force you to marry this emperor?" Zhongqing just glanced at Shu Fengqiu's eyes and immediately felt as if she had fallen into an ice cellar. Ridiculous. What are you? You even claim I forced you to marry. Other than today, has this emperor ever seen you? You are nothing but a woman who forgets righteousness for profit. Are you even worthy of being this emperor's concubine? Zhongqing face turned extremely pale. Today, this emperor, by imperial decree, declares to the Ice God Palace, If they still acknowledge you as their holy maiden, tomorrow my Shu family will annihilate the Ice God Palace. Hearing this, Jongqing face turned ashen. Well done, young Master Shu. A young, talented man, fanning himself, echoed the sentiment. Ding. Severed Jongqing destiny. Her destiny value minus 50,000. Your system value plus 500,000. Shu Fengqiu continued, furthermore, any sect in the world that takes you in, this emperor will destroy them. Ding. Cut off her escape route. Destiny value minus 70,000. Your system value plus 700,000. Zhang Qingxui's body trembled violently, her eyes filled with terror. No, no, you might as well kill me. Kill you. Hey, this emperor said I wouldn't kill you, but how could I let you off so easily? This emperor will make your life worse than death. You even tried to extort this emperor. Then, Shu Fengqiu raised his hand, and his aura surged. Zhang Qingxui's face was filled with terror. What do you want to do? You are a dignified immortal emperor. Could it be that you want to attack a weak woman? Ah! Zhang Qingxue let out a tragic cry. Her cultivation was instantly crippled by Shu Fengqiu. This emperor will not only cripple your cultivation but also destroy your ice body. From now on, you will be nothing more than the most ordinary mortal. Zhang Qingxue fainted. Shu Fengqiu glanced at Zhang Qingxue's family. Take your good-for-nothing daughter and get out. They trembled all over, not daring to utter a single word, and tearfully carried Zhang Qingxue away in a sorry state. Ding. Zhang Qingxui's destiny has been completely severed, her destiny value has returned to 0. Ding. Congratulations on completing the mission. Zhang Qingxui's destiny value returns to 0. Mission rewards. First system mall and destiny value plus 10,000 have been issued. A powerful figure took the lead and cupped his fists, saying, young Master Shu's actions truly rectify the atmosphere of our 9 provinces. We admire you. We admire you. We admire you. Shu Fengqiu, with his hands behind his back, said indifferently, everyone, you are too kind. The wedding is off today, but the banquet continues. Everyone, please take your seats, eat what you should eat, and drink what you should drink. Shu Fengqiu's thunderous might in the Shu family quickly spread throughout the continent. Everyone was amazed by the decisive and bold actions of this newly promoted immortal emperor, Shu Fengqiu. At this moment, Shu Fengqiu returned to his palace. Check the Child of Destiny. Child of Destiny, Yi Feng. Age, 27 inches. Destiny value, 1,287,000, originally a 5-order Child of Destiny. Bloodline, Chaos Divine Race. Physique, Chaos Body. Realm, Celestial Venerable Realm 1st Order, originally God Emperor Realm 3rd Order. Combat Power Score, 59, originally 89. There's still over 1.2 million destiny value. Shu Fengqiu's eyes narrowed slightly. Even after taking his supreme bone, killing his master, and severing his relationship with Luo Luli of the Phoenix platform, he still had over a million destiny value remaining. With over a million destiny value, he still had a chance to defy fate and change his destiny. But this over 1.2 million destiny value corresponded to over 10 million system value. Shu Fengqiu still couldn't let it go. At least reduce it by another million, and then he could proceed to kill him. System, where does Yi Feng's remaining destiny value come from? Ding. 20% comes from the powerful spirit artifacts he still possesses, his chaos body, and the martial arts he cultivates. 10% comes from various other aspects. 70% comes from Lu Union. Lu Union. Shu Fengqiu mused. This Lu Union was a very famous figure on the continent. She was not old, under 500 years old. In the martial arts world, lifespans often stretched for tens of thousands of years, so 500 years was nothing. However, her talent was astonishing, her combat power was exceptional, and she became famous on the continent at a young age. Currently, she was also the peak master of Tianren Peak of Tianyu Holy Land. And she was Yi Feng's master. On this Tianren Peak, there was only her and a few elders. Yi Feng was one of their only few disciples. Yi Feng's achievements today were basically due to 2 people. Medical sage Li Qianqiu and Lu Union. Therefore, Lu Union still had a great chance to help Yi Feng defy fate, change his destiny, and return to his peak. But, Shu Fengqiu had a cheat. He could directly understand Yi Feng's inner thoughts, and once a Child of Destiny appeared before Shu Fengqiu, he would know all information about the Child of Destiny's life. He would know every unknown secret of every Child of Destiny. It was similar to having a god's eye view of this person. Shu Fengqiu checked some of Yi Feng's past interactions with his master, Lu Union. This Yi Feng, on the surface, seems like a righteous gentleman, but if he were a protagonist in a novel, some of his actions would still be criticized by readers. Firstly, Yi Feng had always harbored covetous desires for this beautiful master. He always viewed her as his future woman. It's just that he didn't dare to show it now. He believed that all beautiful and good women in this world should become his confidants. There's nothing wrong with that, everyone appreciates beauty. How many male protagonists in novels didn't end up seducing their beautiful masters? But he had fantasized about Lu Union while masturbating. For such a person, this was very perverted. Other things need not be mentioned. There was also a very important point. Lu Union had a total of 5 disciples, and Yi Feng was the 5th. She had a senior disciple named Leng Ning. A few years ago, Leng Ning took Yi Feng out for training and accidentally got poisoned by a 9-headed heavenly venomous dragon. At that time, Yi Feng's medical skill was perfectly capable of detoxifying it. In the antidote he refined, he added an aphrodisiac to Leng Ning. The senior sister's snake venom was cured, but the aphrodisiac eventually took effect. Yi Feng took the opportunity to, well, you know. Afterward, senior sister Leng Ning questioned him. Yi Feng hadn't expected senior sister to be so proficient in medical skill. Yi Feng initially tried to bluff his way through but was forced to admit it. Senior sister was very angry and sad. After leaving Yi Feng, she was in a very bad mood. Having no face to return, she soon suffered a chi deviation and passed away. Until now, Lu Union still didn't know how she died or where she died. And Yi Feng, he actually had some guesses in his heart. He secretly went looking and found a place. There, senior sister Leng Ning had left a wisp of her remnant soul before she died. Yi Feng didn't have the heart to obliterate her remnant soul and sealed it in Burial Heart Cliff. But he couldn't tell anyone about it. Xu Fengqiu stroked his chin, his eyes narrowing slightly. Hey, what a beast. Xiao Li. A beautiful maid of the Xu family respectfully walked over. Xiao Li lowered her head, not daring to look at Xu Fengqiu, her long eyelashes trembling slightly, and said softly with a hint of a tremor. Young master. She looked no older than 16. She was delicate and pitiful, and indeed, she was beautiful, like a little fairy who had fallen into the mortal world. Although she hadn't fully matured and wasn't meticulously dressed, she was truly beautiful. Xiao Li was a little girl the Xu family picked up over 10 years ago. A few years ago, she became Xu Fengqiu's personal maid. The Xu family did not mistreat her. They provided her with many cultivation resources. Despite her young age, she was now a domain realm expert, only one realm lower than Jongqing. However, she was quite afraid of Xu Fengqiu. Because the original Xu Fengqiu, being pampered and arrogant, had a bad temper. If Xiao Li didn't take good care of him, Xu Fengqiu would often punish her. Fortunately, the original owner wasn't lustful. Otherwise, she would have certainly suffered a terrible fate. But, the current Xu Fengqiu was no longer the original owner. Ding. Discovered 7 Order Child of Destiny Xiao Li. The sudden system notification stunned Xu Fengqiu. A 7 Order Child of Destiny. You know, Luo Luli, the Saintess of Phoenix platform, she's also a 7 Order Child of Destiny. What is she? Noble status, heaven-defying talent. And a saint spirit immortal body, a 7 orifice glazed heart. What about Xiao Li? Child of Destiny, Xiao Li. Age, 16. Destiny value, 7,740,000, 7 Order Child of Destiny. Bloodline, descendant of a deity. Physique, Calamity physique, unawakened, blood nether slaughter physique, unawakened. Realm, domain realm 10th order. Combat power score, 61. Introduction. The blood of an ancient deity flows within her, overlooking the world, containing extremely terrifying power. Once this power awakens, it will bloom in slaughter. Xu Fengqiu. Holy cow. Descendant of a deity. What is a deity? A being rumored to be above immortal emperors. This was a realm that only existed hundreds of thousands of years ago, during the ancient gods era. Later, the gods era came to an end, and the gods fell. Since then, everything has become a legend. And now, no one can break through to Supreme Immortal Emperor and reach that legendary realm. Because the era has changed, and the laws of this world have changed. It's just that some people might possess the key to reaching that realm. Luo Luli is one of them. Goodness. Is this only a 7 Order Child of Destiny? No. It can only be said that she is currently a 7 Order Child of Destiny, it doesn't mean she can only ever be a 7 Order. I'm breaking out in a sweat, buddy. But, at least for now, she's Xiao Li. She's Shu Fengqiu's maid. She's a delicate little sprite. Ding. Congratulations, you've triggered the quest push down Shaoli. Quest reward. Law of Destruction. Shu Fengqiu. Law of Destruction. Huh. A legendary law. The strongest powers in this world, without a doubt, are the 12 laws. Power law, soul law, creation law, law of death, space law, law of destruction, and so on. Any single law possesses unimaginable power. The appearance of any single law can cause a storm of blood throughout the entire continent. For tens of thousands of years, among the known laws that have appeared, humans have 2, demons have 1, and devils have 1. They are all controlled by top-tier forces. The other laws are unknown. The law of destruction, whoever possesses it can destroy everything with a single thought. Theoretically, if you are powerful enough to utilize enough of the law of destruction's power, this single thought can casually destroy a planet. Of course, it depends on your own power and what you intend to destroy. If you are merely a mortal, and you wish to destroy a martial artist's life with a single thought, then, I'm sorry, its power will instantly backfire and kill you. So, this single thought must be within your capabilities, otherwise, you'll be the one in trouble. Truly outrageous, Shu Fengqiu muttered inwardly, looking at Shaoli. Wait. Holy cow. This scoundrel system is truly disgusting. You didn't trigger this quest when you met Luo Luli. Oh, seeing that Shaoli is his maid and can't resist now, you trigger this kind of quest. How annoying. But it should be quite easy to complete. However, Shu Fengqiu checked Shaoli. Shaoli. Age, 16, realm, domain realm 10th order, affection, -5. With -5 affection towards him, if he forced her, and she awakened one day, she would definitely kill him. His destiny value isn't high right now, it was originally 10, and he only got 10,000 destiny value for completing Jongqing Shui's quest. He can only get 1 million for completing Yifeng's quest. But he feels it's still not enough. It's reasonable to die easily. No. Can't do that. Wait. Shu Fengqiu's eyes suddenly lit up. Ahem, Shaoli. Shu Fengqiu forced a smile at her. Huh. Young master, what are your orders? Shaoli looked up at Shu Fengqiu, her long eyelashes trembling. And then, the young master actually smiled at her. How scary. Shu Fengqiu, who could perceive Shaoli's thoughts, heard her inner voice and couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. Stand properly, Shu Fengqiu said. Oh. Shaoli then straightened up. Shu Fengqiu walked towards her and said, I'll gently push you in a moment, just pretend to fall. Huh. Shaoli looked at Shu Fengqiu in confusion. Just obey. Yes. Shaoli nodded. Here I come. Then Shu Fengqiu reached out and pushed Shaoli. Shaoli took a few steps back, then, following Shu Fengqiu's instructions, she fell to the ground with a thump. Alright, stand up, Shu Fengqiu said. Shaoli. She stood up, her head bowed. Young masters, his peculiar bad taste is so strange. Huh. Shu Fengqiu's attention was now on his conversation with the system in his mind. System, give me the reward, quickly. System. Ding. Host has not yet completed the quest. Not completed. Then tell me, what did I just do to Shaoli? Ding. Host pushed down Shaoli. Right, what's your quest? Ding. Push down Shaoli. So, is it completed? Does a physical push not count as pushing down? System. Ding. Please, host, understand that the specific meaning of this quest is not a physical push. Then why didn't you say so earlier? Isn't this your problem? Is it my fault? System. Hurry up, give me the reward, or I'll complain about you. Ding. Congratulations, host, you've received the reward law of destruction gritting teeth. Ding. Host has re-triggered a new quest Shaoli's affection. Rewards can be obtained when affection reaches 20, 40, 60, and 80. Reaching 80 will grant Shaoli's ultimate reward. Shu Fengqiu subconsciously revealed a mad smile. Meanwhile, Shaoli stood there timidly, waiting for Shu Fengqiu's response. She finally mustered up the courage to secretly glance up at Shu Fengqiu. And then she saw Shu Fengqiu's perverted smile. Shaoli immediately lowered her head. How perverted that smile was. Shu Fengqiu just came back to his senses and heard Shaoli's inner voice, and the corner of his mouth couldn't help but twitch again. No, the original owner was indeed not good to you before. But, you can't misunderstand me, buddy. Shaoli. Ah, yes. Shu Fengqiu walked up to her with his hands behind his back and said seriously, before, my attitude towards you was never very good. I would punish you, hit you, and scold you. You must have always resented me in your heart, right? Xiao Li blinked her eyes, head still bowed, and quickly said, no. Shu Fengqiu smiled. I naturally know. However, let me explain to you now. All of this was actually me wanting to temper your will, deliberately making things difficult for you. Huh. Xiao Li looked up at Shu Fengqiu in surprise. Seeing Shu Fengqiu look at her, she immediately lowered her head again. You don't have to believe it, it's not important. You're about to advance to Divine Sea Realm, right? Shu Fengqiu extended his hand, and a 9-star rainbow berry appeared in his palm. Take this back and refine it, you'll easily advance to Divine Sea Realm. This 9-star rainbow berry can also bring you a considerable improvement. Shu Fengqiu smiled inwardly. Little girl. No matter what, she's just a little girl. Is it hard to casually manipulate her and increase her affection? Xiao Li was startled. Thump. Then she immediately knelt down, saying in a panic, Young master. Xiao Li was wrong. Young master, can you please let Xiao Li go? Xiao Li can take a beating. Shu Fengqiu. No. What's going on? Then, through Xiao Li's inner thoughts, Shu Fengqiu understood. It was his sudden kindness towards her that made her afraid. She worried that giving her the 9-star rainbow berry was meant to harm her, or at least draw the attention of other members of the Shu family, leading to her punishment. Shu Fengqiu's heart suddenly ached for this girl. Shu Fengqiu raised his hand, and Xiao Li was pulled up by a force. If I wanted to harm you, would I need to go through all this trouble? Xiao Li blinked her reddened big eyes. It seemed so. Shu Fengqiu smiled and ruffled her beautiful hair. However, the moment his hand reached out, she instinctively flinched. Shu Fengqiu also pulled his hand back and handed her a letter, saying, Go to Tianren Peak of Tianyu Holy Land and give this letter to Senior Lu Union. Instruct her to read it carefully. This 9-star rainbow berry is your small reward. Go now. Ah. Yes. Xiao Li takes her leave. Xiao Li took the letter and quickly turned to leave. Ding. Xiao Li's affection for you +5. Current affection. 0. Shu Fengqiu stretched. It shouldn't be difficult. After all, she's a cute and innocent girl. Open system shop. This was the reward for completing Jongqing Shui's quest. He wanted to see what was in the system shop and if it was worth his effort to grind for the Child of Destiny's system points. First system shop. Attribute doubling. After exchange, strength, speed, and physique double for 3 minutes. System points consumed, 10,000. Attribute exchange. After exchange, your strength, physique, speed, mental power, soul power, and spiritual power values permanently double. Can be exchanged once in a lifetime. System points consumed, 100,000. Reincarnation card. Can immobilize one target within line of sight, preventing them from moving for 10 seconds, regardless of realm. Can be used once per day. System points consumed, 100,000. Invincible card. User enters an absolutely invincible state for 30 seconds, ignoring attacks of any realm. Can be used once per day. System points consumed, 100,000. Fatal strike. The power of your next move increases tenfold. Can be used once per day. System points consumed, 200,000. Grand lottery. Can perform one grand lottery draw per month, randomly drawing any reward. System points consumed, 500,000. Talent exchange. Can randomly obtain a certain talent skill that only the system can provide. System points consumed, 1 million. Can only be exchanged once. Supreme Immortal Emperor card. After exchange, can obtain the cultivation of Immortal Emperor 10th Order, Supreme Immortal Emperor, for 3 minutes. System points consumed, 5 million. Lifetime exchange count, 1. Pink mist. Use on a female target, regardless of realm, to increase her affection for you by +50. System points consumed, 5 million. Can only be exchanged once. King Yama's decree. After exchange, write the target's name on the King Yama's decree, and simultaneously visualize the person's information. Ignores realm. No matter where they are instantly annihilated. System points consumed, 50 million. Can only be exchanged twice. Looking at the items in the system shop, Shu Fengqiu was stunned. Awesome. He could only say, it was incredibly overpowered. Although many could only be exchanged once, Shu Fengqiu would definitely not need to use them often. The most exaggerated was the final King Yama's decree. What kind of divine item was this? Too exaggerated. The most crucial thing was that this was only the first system shop. If there's a first, there's a second, third, fourth. It's hard to imagine what else there might be later. Isn't this invincible? Attribute exchange. Subsequently, Shu Fengqiu's strength, speed, physique, soul power, mental power, and spiritual power values all permanently doubled. Immortal Emperor First Order, with all attributes doubled, what kind of concept was that? Even if his realm was forcefully instilled and boosted by resources. Now, his attributes were not something an ordinary Immortal Emperor First Order could compare to. System, exchange for a talent skill. Ding. Exchanging for talent skill. Randomly selecting talent. Ding. Congratulations, host, you've obtained the talent Infinite Ultimate Skill. Infinite Ultimate Skill. Once a person within line of sight uses their ultimate skill, within a day, the host can infinitely unleash the same ultimate skill without spiritual power consumption, raining down attacks. Shu Fengqiu. Holy crap. If this talent were in a game, wouldn't it be a cheat? If there were 100 people within line of sight, and they all unleashed their ultimate skills. Then, Shu Fengqiu could use all 100 of those ultimate skills madly without spiritual power consumption. With the power of one person, to shake a 10,000-year emperor clan. Awesome. Shu Fengqiu revealed a smile. So now, the primary goal is naturally to complete the Child of Destiny quests and obtain rewards. These rewards could only be given by the system, bringing extremely exaggerated improvements. At the Immortal Emperor realm, being able to obtain such level rewards repeatedly was too exaggerated and too rare. Secondly, although all my attributes are doubled, because my realm was forcefully elevated, my foundation is unstable. I need to find a way to stabilize my foundation, and my abilities can be further greatly improved. Also, the Supreme Bone needs to be absorbed at some point. The news of Yi Feng's attempted marriage snatching and the subsequent removal of his Supreme Bone quickly spread throughout the 9 provinces continent. Various sects and powers were all discussing the matter. At Phoenix platform, Luo Luli returned to the main hall. Master, elders, Luo Luli bowed. We are already aware of the events of your trip. You may return and rest, the Phoenix Lord said indifferently. Yes. Luli takes her leave. Luo Luli then exited the main hall. Inside the main hall, the powerhouses of Phoenix platform were also chatting. Third Elder. This young Master Shu of the 10,000-year Emperor clan, Shu family, is truly ruthless and decisive. I didn't expect the Shu family patriarch to allow him to act so recklessly. Eighth Elder. Logically, Yi Feng was attempting to snatch a bride and spoke disrespectfully, so he was in the wrong. But in the 9 provinces, where strength is revered, logic doesn't apply. Sect Master, our Phoenix platform is also involved in this matter. What is your opinion? The Phoenix Lord was a peerless goddess. She sat there, her slender fingers tapping rhythmically on the armrest of the Phoenix chair. That Shu Fengqiu is clever. With a few words, he truly earned a favor from that girl Luli. An elder said, our Phoenix platform cannot side with his Shu family just for this small favor, can it? Phoenix platform, if it doesn't move, it's fine, but if it does, it will involve the entire 9 heavens. But the problem lies with Lu Union, who is behind Yi Feng. Even if the Shu family is in decline now, looking at the entire 9 provinces, there are still not many forces that can contend with the Shu family. But Lu Union is different. This Lu Union, seemingly just a peak lord of Tianyu Holy Land, has another identity. She was once the lord of Killing Pavilion. With Yi Feng's supreme bone being dug out, given Lu Union's protective nature, she might use the power of Killing Pavilion. Once she does, it's likely that the 8 heavens and even the 9 provinces will be in turmoil. Killing Pavilion was a mysterious force on the 9 provinces continent. Members of Killing Pavilion gathered from all corners of the 9 heavens in the 9 provinces. No one knew who the members of Killing Pavilion were, or how many there were. No one knew where their sect was either. But perhaps someone next to a person, or even someone within this Phoenix platform's main hall, could be a member of Killing Pavilion. Why did such a special force make people so wary? Because if Killing Pavilion assassinated, even immortal emperors would die. To this day, they had never failed. So, no one knew how strong Killing Pavilion truly was, but it must be terrifying. Therefore, no force was willing to provoke such a mysterious existence as Killing Pavilion. And Lu Union was the previous lord of Killing Pavilion. However, she had now withdrawn from Killing Pavilion and remained peacefully in Tianyu Holy Land as a peak lord, seeking the martial Dao. As for the reason, no one knew. Although Shu Fengqiu acts decisively, not considering the consequences is his own problem. The Phoenix Lord said indifferently, let's wait and see. Yes. Tianyu Holy Land. Tianren Peak. A powerhouse from Phoenix platform brought the heavily injured Yi Feng here. Lu Yunyan, accompanied by the four elders and several disciples of Tianren Peak, rushed over. Junior brother Yi. Junior brother. Yi Feng's two senior brothers were also extremely enraged at this sight. Lu Yunyan, with her face veiled by a light gauze, frowned as she looked at Yi Feng. Although her face was veiled, it could not conceal her captivating beauty and nobility. A poem would best describe her. Amidst the crowd, a captivating glance, her beauty makes the world's colors seem like dust. Fifth elder, treat him quickly. Fifth elder quickly walked towards Yi Feng and took his pulse. What? Fengers. Supreme bone has been dug out. Lu Yunyan appeared calm, but a hint of ferocity subtly emerged from her. She, Lu Yunyan, was famously protective of her disciples. Once, her eldest disciple, Leng Ning, was almost killed by a powerful sect. That sect had more than 100 martial artists stronger than Lu Yunyan. In her rage, she single-handedly annihilated that sect. This was also Lu Yunyan's famous battle. Who did it? Who did it? One of Yi Feng's senior brothers roared. The powerhouse from Phoenix Platform said indifferently, "You will not find it difficult to know about this matter. This is all our Phoenix Platform can do. From now on, Phoenix Platform and Yi Feng are even, with no further ties. Peak Lord Lu, I take my leave." With that, the Phoenix Platform powerhouse disappeared. Besides the Supreme Bone, what other injuries are there? Lu Yunyan asked. There are none. His life can be saved, but Fenger will likely. Fifth elder shook his head. I'll go avenge junior brother Yi. One of the senior brothers said, about to move. Stop, Lu Yunyan said indifferently, her hands behind her back. Master. Go back. At this moment, the seemingly old and unremarkable first elder walked over. It's young master Shu Fengqiu of the Shu family. Lu Yunyan's beautiful eyes narrowed slightly. The Shu family. Fenger went to snatch a bride, didn't he? And he spoke disrespectfully. Consider it carefully. Lu Yunyan said indifferently. With your strength and mine, we cannot contend with the Shu family. We might have to use killing pavilion. Ah. First elder. As you wish. Lu Yunyan slowly paced, seemingly deep in thought. At this moment, a figure ran in. It was a disciple of Tianyu Holy Land. Peak Lord Lu. Lu Yunyan. Speak. Outside Tianyu Holy Land, a young woman requests an audience. She says she is the maid of young master Shu Fengqiu of the 10,000-year emperor clan, Shu family. Upon hearing this, Yi Feng's two senior brothers, who were about to leave, showed angry expressions. What does that Shu Fengqiu mean? After harming junior brother Yi like this, he still sends someone to our Tianren Peak. HMPH. He dug out junior brother Yi's supreme bone, so I'll cripple his maid. Does he really think our Tianren Peak is easy to bully? Lu Yunyan said. Go back. The two gritted their teeth, then clasped their fists. Yes. Then they walked away. Lu Yunyan stood with her hands behind her back under the moonlight, saying, let her come. Yes. Soon, Shaoli arrived at Tianren Peak. She had never come out to do such a thing for Shu Fengqiu before. Nor had anyone ever come to another powerful sect. Especially since she was going to meet Lu Yunyan, a senior she greatly admired. The most crucial thing was, the young master had crippled her disciple Yi Feng. Shaoli was still a little scared. Shaoli held a letter in her hand, muttering to herself as she walked. Instruct Senior Lu Yunyan to be sure to read it. Instruct Senior Lu Yunyan to be sure to read it. Be sure to read it. Be sure to read it. Then Shaoli walked over. Junior bows to Senior Lu, Shaoli bowed. Lu Yunyan sat there brewing tea, her red lips slightly parted. Speak. Shaoli exhaled, placing the letter in her hand on the table. This is a letter from my young master to Senior Lu. Anything else? No. No more. Oh right, young master instructed Shaoli that Senior Lu must read it. Lu Yunyan took a sip of tea, saying nothing. Seeing this, Shaoli also bowed slightly. Shaoli takes her leave. Then she turned around, exhaled nervously, and quickly left. Lu Yunyan glanced at Shaoli's retreating figure. Then, Lu Yunyan opened the envelope. She originally thought it was some condition Shu Fengqiu was offering to seek peace with her. But when she saw the contents of Shu Fengqiu's letter, her pupils constricted violently. That's right. Even with a state of mind as strong as hers, seeing these contents deeply moved her. The letter told her one thing. Her eldest disciple, Leng Ning, had a wisp of a remnant soul sealed at Burial Heart Cliff. Lu Yunyan didn't believe it. However, it concerned her eldest disciple, whom she had been searching for several years. Even if she didn't believe it, she had to go and see. Lu Yunyan leapt up, disappearing into the void. The next day. Morning. Tianren Peak, Tianyu Holy Land. Yifeng opened his eyes. It hurts. My back hurts so much. Yifeng grimaced in pain. Ah. He tried to sit up. My cultivation, my supreme bone. Feeling his condition and recalling what happened yesterday, Yifeng's fists trembled with hatred. Why? He, Yifeng, had walked this path, defying the heavens all the way, turning countless impossibilities into possibilities. How many powerful experts who could easily crush him had he ultimately killed? Shu Fengqiu was also such a person. Why didn't it work this time? He didn't know how his beloved Jongqing was doing. And he wondered how Luo Luli viewed him now. Yi Feng's eyes flashed with resentment. Shu Fengqiu. My years of effort were ruined by you in one day. If I don't kill you, if I don't torture the person you love to death, I swear I am not human. But fortunately, he still had his master, Lu Yunyan. Shu Fengqiu, do you think your Shu family is invincible? Even if the Shu family is a behemoth, what about you? An immortal emperor forcibly raised with resources. Yunyan was once the master of the killing pavilion. She's famously protective of her disciples, she will definitely kill you, and she will certainly help me restart my path against the heavens. Yifeng walked out of the room. Junior brother Yifeng, how are you doing? His second senior sister, who was waiting outside, quickly asked. I'm fine, second senior sister, where is master? Yifeng asked weakly. Master left last night and hasn't returned yet. Yifeng sneered inwardly. Clearly, master had gone to handle his matter. She must have gone to the killing pavilion to find people. Given his master's temper, killing one Shu Fengqiu would likely not be enough to vent her anger. It was possible the Shu family would face a formidable enemy. Perhaps even the Shu family couldn't withstand the assembled experts of the killing pavilion. Yi Feng's eyes were full of malice. Did master go to destroy the Shu family? But I must personally kill Shu Fengqiu. There seems to be no movement from the Shu family. Yi Feng frowned. Has master not made a move yet? I don't know, I only know that one of Shu Fengqiu's maids came to see master last night. What exactly happened, I'm not sure. In Yi Feng's eyes, this must be Shu Fengqiu regretting and seeking reconciliation. HMPH. Now you know how to regret. Too late. At this moment, a figure descended from above the void. Master is here. Second senior sister quickly said. Yi Feng also walked out, supported by his second senior sister. Before them, Lu Yunyan, with her face veiled and exuding noble coldness, stood there. Master. Second senior sister and Yi Feng walked over and bowed. After bowing, Yi Feng looked at Lu Yunyan and tearfully pleaded, Master, you must avenge your disciple. Lu Yunyan's beautiful eyes fixed on her disciple. His expression was unreadable. But Yi Feng felt a little confused as his master kept staring at him without saying a word. Master. Yi Feng asked. At this moment, a figure walked out from behind Lu Yunyan. To be precise, it was a remnant soul of a person. Seeing her, Yi Feng's pupils constricted sharply. Senior first sister. Second senior sister looked at the figure in disbelief. Lang Ning's remnant soul stared coldly at Yi Feng. Yi Feng, did you never expect that one day, I would return? Yi Feng's eyes widened, his body trembling slightly. Lu Yunyan's terrifying aura was released, pressing down on Yi Feng. Yi Feng was crushed directly to his knees. That's right. Following the address Shu Fengqiu gave her, Lu Yunyan arrived at Burial Heart Cliff. With her abilities, and a purposeful search, she found a cave. In the cave, she discovered a sealed array formation. Through the sealed array, she entered a small space. There, she saw the dying remnant soul of her senior first disciple. She now knew the whole story. Yi Feng had used despicable means to take her virginity. She had fallen into qi deviation and died. And then, Yi Feng found her. He sealed her remnant soul in Burial Heart Cliff. Lu Yunyan was furious. The former only showed Yi Feng was a beast. What he did afterward was inhuman. His senior first sister died from qi deviation because of him. He clearly found her. He clearly could have brought Lang Ning's soul body back for master to reshape her physical body. But he didn't do that. Senior first sister, it's senior first sister. The other two disciples also rushed over. But they glanced at the situation and atmosphere before them and immediately felt something was wrong. Senior first sister, it's great, senior first sister, I thought you, Yi Feng stammered. Lang Ning sneered. A sanctimonious, despicable and shameless villain, it's great. He, is it really great? Are you regretting now that you didn't just destroy my remnant soul back then? Senior first sister, what are you saying? Why don't I understand? Yi Feng swallowed and said. Lang Ning, don't understand. Who plotted to take my virginity back then? What? The other's eyes widened. Lang Ning, after this incident, my Dao heart collapsed. When I broke through, I fell into chi deviation and died in the 9 provinces. Who sealed my soul body? Wasn't it you? What? Those people were even more disbelieving. What a joke, senior first sister, if it were me, why wouldn't I bring your soul body back for master to reshape your physical body? Lang Ning laughed. Ha ha ha, yes, isn't it because you were afraid everything would be exposed, afraid that master and the world would know your true nature, know the cause of my death? Yi Feng. The 2 senior brothers looked at Yi Feng, showing expressions of hatred. Lu Yunyan reached out her hand, her eyes filled with disappointment and anger. This venerable misjudged you. For Lang Ning's matter, this venerable bears inescapable responsibility. Master. Yi Feng's heart skipped a beat. Considering our master-disciple relationship, this venerable will spare your life. Today, all the cultivation techniques this venerable taught you will be abolished. From now on, there will be no more connection between us. On the other side. Ding, Yi Feng's cultivation techniques have been abolished, destiny value minus 300,000. Your system value plus 3 million. Ding, Yi Feng and Lu Yunyan's relationship has broken, destiny value minus 800,000. Hearing this system prompt, Shu Fengqiu's lips curled slightly. Well then, it's time to send you on your way. Shu Fengqiu was too lazy to spend effort on the remaining system value. Just kill him, and when his destiny value becomes 0, he would get the reward. Why bother with so many fancy things? The reward was most important. He was a villain, so he had to make that villainous reputation known, right? However, he did promise Immortal Luo to spare his life. He still didn't know how to increase Immortal Luo's favorability. He felt that the reward should be quite exaggerated. Come on, I'm a villain, how can a villain farm for women's favorability? Except for those simp cannon fodder villains, I'm not one of them. Shu Fengqiu muttered. In a few days, I'll have father take people to the Phoenix platform to propose marriage. Shu Fengqiu stroked his chin, a smile appearing on his face. Now that felt right. As for the pink spray in the system mall, which directly grants 50 favorability, there was no need to use it on Luo Luli. If absolutely necessary, he would first gain some favorability before using the pink spray. Favorability, such a thing, would definitely be harder to gain the further one progressed. At this moment, there was a knock on the door from outside. Young master. Enter. Xiao Li walked in, not daring to look directly at Shu Fengqiu. Young master, Yi Feng has already been sent on his way to the Yi family in the first heaven by one of his senior brothers. Sister Chu asked if she should kill him halfway. No need, this emperor will do it personally. Xiao Li was stunned. Young master, your status is so noble, do you really need to do it yourself? Xiao Li blinked and continued, and you also promised the saintess of the Phoenix platform in front of the world to spare his life. Wouldn't it be a bit inappropriate for you to make a move? Shu Fengqiu asked. What did this emperor say? Xiao Li tilted her head, thought for a moment, and muttered, young master, you said, to give Immortal Luo face, you would spare Yi Feng's life today. That's right, this emperor said I would spare his life that day, but now it's the next day. Xiao Li. The world is so complicated, city routines are deep. Shu Fengqiu sent Xiao Li to refine the 9-star rainbow berry. Meanwhile, Shu Fengqiu went to the Shu family's secret realm where he cultivated. In the secret realm, mountains were green, waters were clear, and there was an extremely beautiful lake. Shu Fengqiu spread open his right hand, and a golden light burst forth. The supreme bone slowly spun in his palm. Supreme bone. Shu Fengqiu revealed a smile. As a divine object capable of stirring up a storm of blood and gore across the continent, the supreme bone must have its heaven-defying aspects. Upon the supreme bone, there were heaven-defying heavenly talismans. These could bestow a martial artist with an extremely powerful ability. At the same time, it possessed the effect of rapidly recovering from injuries. Legend has it, it also held a significance similar to a key. As for whether this key led to godhood or something else, it was unknown. Shu Fengqiu sat down cross-legged, the supreme bone positioned before him. He began to refine it. The next morning, an extremely terrifying aura erupted from Shu Fengqiu. The lake was churned up, and mountains were leveled. Shu Fengqiu opened his eyes, and a sharp glint shot out. Hand of Absolute Spirit. Shu Fengqiu finally understood why Yi Feng, in the past, could face powerful opponents, martial skills and emerge unscathed by simply raising his hand. It turned out to be the Hand of Absolute Spirit brought by the Supreme Bone. Its effect was easy to understand. Any power condensed from spiritual energy could be completely nullified by his hands. If a martial artist launched a spiritual skill, his hand in front would allow the hand of absolute spirit to directly ignore it. Moreover, there were no realm requirements. Taishu Heaven Evolution Art. This was the cultivation technique brought by the Supreme Bone's Supreme Heavenly Talismans. It consisted of 7 layers. As for its effects, Shu Fengqiu had not yet cultivated it and was temporarily unaware. The next instant, Shu Fengqiu unleashed the power of the Supreme Bone. Suddenly, his aura surged. The simplest use of the Supreme Bone was to activate its power, which could bestow himself with even greater combat prowess. It was similar to an amplification cultivation method. There's no rush to cultivate. Shu Fengqiu walked out of the secret realm. Outside the secret realm, Shu Tianyi stood with his hands behind his back. Father. Shu Fengqiu called out. Shu Tianyi turned around. Sit. The two sat on the jade stools nearby. Shu Fengqiu poured Shu Tianyi a cup of tea. Shu Tianyi took a sip of tea, his gaze burning as he looked at Shu Fengqiu, and said faintly. What you did yesterday was very good. It not only upheld the prestige of our Shu family but also showcased the demeanor of you, the youngest immortal emperor of this generation. Shu Fengqiu nodded. Father, you flatter me. Praise is praise, but your actions were too reckless. Seizing the Supreme Bone undoubtedly puts you in danger. The Supreme Bone was like a delicious pastry. If Shu Fengqiu could seize it from Yi Feng, then others could also seize it from Shu Fengqiu. Shu Fengqiu said faintly, if anyone dares to act, then this continent will lose a few more immortal emperors and forces. Shu Tianyi. How could this kid be so arrogant, holy hell. Cough, cough. Shu Tianyi cleared his throat and said, secondly, killing medical sage Li Qianqiu. Just as Yi Feng said, he is backed by Medicine God Mountain. Although medical sage Li Qianqiu left Medicine God Mountain many years ago, this act still showed no regard for them. Has Medicine God Mountain said anything? Shu Fengqiu asked. Not yet. Shu Fengqiu stroked his chin. Then they can still exist for a while. Shu Tianyi. Then Shu Fengqiu said, Father, I will personally resolve the matters of stirred up. Shu Tianyi said with a calm demeanor. The Shu family doesn't stir up trouble, but it's not afraid of it either. Shu Fengqiu nodded. Your son understands. Oh, and father, your son has something to discuss. Speak. You also said, your son has reached the age to marry. Yes, originally I wanted Jongqing to be your concubine, seeing that she was beautiful and possessed the heavenly ice physique. What? Have you found a girl you like? Shu Tianyi asked with a smile. I have. Shu Tianyi blew on his tea and said faintly, tell me about it. I plan to propose marriage to Phoenix Platform. To be fair, as a villain, it's a very normal operation to directly go and propose marriage, right? Moreover, he had triggered Luo Luli's favorability quest. No matter what method he used to increase favorability, how could he do it without being together? PFF'd. Shu Tianyi directly spat out a mouthful of tea. Father. No harm, no harm, cough cough cough. Shu Tianyi quickly wiped away the tea, looking at Shu Fengqiu for several seconds. That. Audemars, cough cough, our Shu family isn't afraid of trouble, but that doesn't mean we can do whatever we want, do you understand? Leaving aside the fact that you two have no feelings, just one point. Luo Luli will be the future master of Phoenix Platform. Audemars, do you think it's possible? Shu Fengqiu opened his mouth, just about to say something. Shu Tianyi immediately stood up and shouted to someone in the distance, is that the great elder? Yes, 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 ah ha ha ha, I have something to discuss with you. With that, Shu Tianyi quickly slipped away. Shu Fengqiu shrugged his shoulders. Now, the entire continent was awaiting the storm that the Shu family was about to face. Medicine God Mountain behind medical sage Li Qianqiu. Lu Union behind Yi Feng. But strangely, everyone hadn't heard any movement from them. Instead, they received news of Shu Fengqiu leaving the Shu family. However, everyone thought this was the calm before the storm. At this moment, First Heaven, Divine Wind Empire, Imperial Capital. Shu Fengqiu and Xiao Li walked among the bustling crowds. That's right. Shu Fengqiu, to be safe, personally came to kill the child of destiny Yi Feng. After all, it concerned a large amount of his rewards. Xiao Li's eyes, longing for the mundane world, constantly looked around. The extraordinary Shu Fengqiu, coupled with Xiao Li, who was like an elf, also attracted the attention of passers-by. 16-year-old Xiao Li was also a graceful young woman. It smells so good, young master, do you want to eat meat pies? Xiao Li asked timidly. Shu Fengqiu smiled. Why ask me if you want to eat it yourself? Xiaoli lowered her head, her small hands nervously clutching the corner of her clothes. Shu Fengqiu smiled. Go ahead. Xiaoli was stunned. She really felt that young master had changed so much from before. But, can I? Of course, what's the big deal? Xiaoli is afraid of affecting young master's progress. Thank you, young master. Xiaoli happily ran over. Uncle, 2 meat pies. Ding. Xiaoli's favorability towards you plus 5, current favorability, 5. Shu Fengqiu smiled inwardly. Even if she possessed the calamity physique, a divine being descended to earth, she was still a 16-year-old girl after all. Her mind was simple. Then he walked to the side, planning to buy Xiaoli a candied hawthorn skewer. Xiaoli's clear voice also attracted the attention of many people. Oh. Ahead, a young man's gaze fell upon Xiaoli. Young master, look, such a beautiful girl. Yi Tian's lips curved. You don't need to tell me, young master saw her. Such a beautiful woman has come to the imperial capital. With that, he closed his fan, a smile on his lips, and walked over. The common people, seeing him, respectfully kept their distance and whispered to each other. Whose beautiful girl is that? What a pity, she's been targeted by that scumbag Yi Tian. Alas, ever since Yi Feng rose, the Yi family, one of the 4 great families, has held such a position in the imperial capital that even His Majesty has to flatter them. The Yi family is actually the true power behind the Divine Wind Empire. As Yi Feng's elder brother, Yi Tian has been on the rise these past few years, bullying men and women, committing all sorts of evil. I truly hope someone comes to deal with him. But have you heard? Yi Feng seems to have tried to snatch a wife from an immortal emperor in the 8 heavens. I wonder if it's true. I heard that's the case, but it seems he failed. Yi Feng was severely injured. Haven't you seen Jongqing and her family return in disarray? The specifics aren't very clear. And just now, people from Piao Miao Peak in the 8 heavens came to the Yi family. I wonder what it's about. Beautiful lady, a pleasure to meet you. I am Yi Tian of the Yi family. Yi Tian said with a smile. Xiaoli glanced at Yi Tian. I don't know you. Ha ha ha, don't you know me now? Xiaoli shook her head. Don't want to know you. But young master wants to get to know you. Yi Tian said with a smirk. Xiaoli looked left and right, searching for Shu Fengqiu. Shu Fengqiu walked over, holding a candied hawthorn skewer. Young master. Xiaoli, being of a gentle nature, mainly feared causing trouble for Shu Fengqiu, so she came to Shu Fengqiu's side. Yi Tian frowned, looking at Shu Fengqiu. Is she your maid? Shu Fengqiu ignored Yi Tian, handed the candied hawthorn skewer to Xiaoli, and said, I bought this for you. Thank you, young master. Xiaoli took it, then secretly glanced at Yi Tian again. Yi Tian, finding himself ignored, was extremely displeased. Young master is asking you, is she your maid? Yi Tian asked again in an unfriendly tone. The surrounding common people quickly distanced themselves. Shu Fengqiu looked at Yi Tian with a playful smile. You're Yi Tian, right? Yi Feng's elder brother. Yi Tian chuckled. Hey, it's good that you know young master, saves me the trouble of speaking. With that, he pointed at Xiaoli and said, she's young master's maid now. Any problem? Then Yi Tian added, young master is not discussing with you, but ordering you, understand? Shu Fengqiu smiled and shook his head, not really. Not really. Ha ha ha, you know young master's identity and you're still pretending to be calm here. Then I'll make you understand. With that, Yi Tian's subordinate released spiritual energy from his body, completely disregarding any consequences, and punched Shu Fengqiu with a fiery fist. Yi Tian's lips curved, without any obstruction, even preparing to reach out and embrace Xiaoli to leave. However, as he took one step forward, his pupils constricted. He widened his eyes in disbelief and slowly turned to look at his subordinate. That subordinate's eyes were wide, his body motionless, slowly disintegrating into countless specks of starlight and vanishing into thin air before him. Yi Tian looked at Shu Fengqiu in shock, only to find himself unable to move. Yi Feng is my second brother. He even dared to snatch a wife from an immortal emperor. You dare to touch me, just try it. Yi Tian roared. Xiaoli muttered. Tisk, is that something to be proud of? Throwing an egg at a rock, suffering severe injuries, even his supreme bone was dug out. If it weren't for Phoenix Platform's Saintess interceding, he would have died long ago. Yi Tian roared. What do you know? Then Yi Tian glared at Shu Fengqiu. First, do you have a background like Phoenix Platform? Second, never mind what happened to my second brother, you don't even have the qualifications to meet an immortal emperor, let alone snatch a wife. What Yi Feng did was heaven-defying even across the continent. Even if he failed, the height he reached is something you will never be able to achieve in your lifetime. Also, you don't know, do you? People from Piao Miao Peak in the Eight Heavens are at my Yi family right now. The surrounding crowd was utterly shocked. He was right. Although Yi Feng failed and met a tragic end, what Yi Feng did was already something others dared not even imagine. The height was already too great. Plus, people from Piao Miao Peak were currently at the Yi family. This man indeed seemed extraordinary. But, what Yi Feng was involved in, it was simply like a legend. Yi Tian gritted his teeth and glared at Shu Fengqiu. What is your status? Even if you are a young master of a fourth heaven or fifth heaven sect, you can't even reach my second brother's toenail. My second brother has killed countless saint sons from fourth heaven and fifth heaven, and he only hit a wall in front of the dignified Immortal Emperor Shu Fengqiu. Are you an Immortal Emperor? If not, let go of me and kneel to admit your mistake. Otherwise, I'll destroy your entire sect. Shu Fengqiu chuckled like he was looking at a clown. Coincidentally, this emperor truly is an Immortal Emperor. Yi Tian. Everyone. First heaven. The Shu family. At this moment, in the reception hall, Yi Feng sat dejectedly on a chair. Beside him was Jongqing, holding Yi Feng's hand. Jongqing had no choice. She had been crippled. The Ice God Palace no longer wanted her. She had nothing now, only Yi Feng. Even though Yi Feng was not as he used to be, at least his cultivation realm was still considered strong in the first heaven. Jongqing could only rely on him. And today, there was good news. Wang Xian, the daughter of the Piao Miao Peak sect master, had arrived. Piao Miao Peak was a very powerful sect in the Eight Heavens. Wang Xian, though not exceptionally beautiful, had a powerful background. And she, too, had once been deeply infatuated with Yi Feng due to some past events. It was just that at the time, Yi Feng didn't find her very beautiful, so he didn't pay much attention to her. Fenger, now we can only place our hopes on Piao Miao Peak, Yi Feng's father, Yi Hai, said to his son. Yi Feng secretly clenched his fists, his eyes glinting with resentment. Father, don't worry. Although this time your son suffered heavy losses, as long as I am still here, one day I will be able to ascend to the peak again. I am determined to kill Shu Fengqiu for revenge. At this moment, Wang Xian, dressed in a pink dress, along with several strong cultivators from Piao Miao Peak, also hurried into the room. Brother Yi Feng. Wang Xian anxiously ran towards Yi Feng. Xian. Yi Feng looked at the woman in front of him, then released Jongqing and took her hand. Xian, I've missed you so much. Yi Feng said, pulling her hand, emotionally. Wang Xian's eyes were red. Brother Yi Feng, I've missed you too. After a year, how could you have been bullied like this? Alas. Yi Feng sighed deeply. Yi Feng's father, Yi Hai, said, Miss Wang, I presume you already know what happened. Wang Xian gritted her teeth. I know. Shu Fengqiu, relying on his status as an Immortal Emperor and the young Master Shu, acts recklessly. Brother Yi Feng, I will definitely get revenge for you. Yi Feng said, revenge is not urgent. The main thing is that my current situation is special. My supreme bone is gone, my cultivation has plummeted, my master was killed, and another master was incited against me by him. I have nowhere to go and probably need Piao Miao Peak's help. No problem, you have me. Jongqing also quickly said, Miss Wang, you weren't there, so you don't know how ruthless Shu Fengqiu is. I've already tried to help brother Yi Feng, alas, now I'm also a cripple. Yi Feng said, Xian, you must also help Qingshe. Wang Xian glanced at Jongqing, then nodded. Okay. You two will come back with me later. Once we're back, I'll ask my father to find a way to definitely help you kill Shu Fengqiu and destroy the Shu family. Cough, young lady, you originally came here secretly, without the sect master's knowledge. The Shu family is not someone our Piao Miao Peak can afford to offend. The Shu family's matters should be handled by them, an elder said. Yi Feng said coldly, HMPH. When the time comes, young master will be Piao Miao Peak's son-in-law. What Shu family matters? By then, we will be one family, and those will be our own family matters. Wang Xian nodded repeatedly. Yes. That's great, we'll be good sisters from now on. Jongqing said with a smile, holding Wang Xian's hand. Wang Xian said nothing, but looked at Yi Feng and asked, Brother Yi Feng, what are your specific plans for the future? Improve my cultivation, get revenge, kill Shu Fengqiu, and destroy the Shu family. I, Yi Feng, merely lost a supreme bone, that's all. Wang Xian. When I go back, I'll find the sex Immortal Emperor and look for an opportunity to kill Shu Fengqiu first. How dare he steal Brother Yi Feng's supreme bone? I will skin him, trample him underfoot, make him kneel and kowtow to Brother Yi Feng to apologize, and then, in front of him, kill all his family members. The elder said, Young Master Yi, you are thinking too simply. I, Yi Feng, starting from nothing, was able to achieve such accomplishments. Even if my backing is gone now, my future achievements will undoubtedly be even greater, Yi Feng said, clenching his fist. Yi Hai smiled and said, Ha ha ha, we'll be one family from now on, won't we? Fenger, you must find an opportunity to resolve the misunderstanding between you and Senior Lu Union. Yi Feng nodded. Yi Hai stood up and cupped his fist, saying, Everyone from Piao Miao Peak, upon learning of your arrival today, many powerful sect members from the first heaven, and even the second heaven and third heaven, have come to my Shu family. They have been waiting for a long time in the Shu family courtyard. Please, everyone, move along. No need to trouble yourselves. Both of you, they have already arrived, Yi Hai said. Two elders, this also concerns my reputation, Wang Ziyan said. Very well. They moved together to the vast Shu family courtyard. Hundreds of strong cultivators stood up one after another. You are Elder Nanshan of Piao Miao Peak, aren't you? I've long admired your name. I am Jian Yunyu, sect master of the Nine Swords sect. I am Huo Ba, sect master of the Heavenly Yang sect. Young friend Yi Feng, we have heard about what happened. It's not a big deal. With young friend Yi Feng's ability, standing at the peak of the continent is only a matter of time. That's right, we still trust young friend Yi. It's just that the Shu family is indeed a great mountain, and young friend Yi's actions were still too rash. These strong cultivators came simply to see if they could seize an opportunity to cling to Piao Miao Peak, this great mountain. As for Shu Fengqiu, he had already stated that he wouldn't kill Yi Feng anyway. The dignified young Master Shu probably wouldn't bother with an ant like Yi Feng anymore. Their actions, as long as they didn't overstep too much, shouldn't attract Shu Fengqiu's attention. Yi Feng's eyes flashed with brilliance as he shouted, This matter has made everyone laugh, but today, with so many people here, I ask everyone to bear witness. Within 5 years, young master will definitely step on Shu Fengqiu and destroy his Shu family. As soon as these words came out, everyone dared not agree. Who the hell would dare to do that? If it reached Shu Fengqiu or the Shu family's ears, their entire sect would be annihilated. Feeling the silence around him, Yi Feng frowned. Didn't you hear what Brother Yi Feng said? Wang Ziyan shouted. Ha ha ha. Yes, we are also clear about young friend Yi's strength. Stirring up the third heaven and fourth heaven at such a young age, we have all seen it. 5 years, it can be done, ha ha ha. They didn't want to have any contact with Yi Feng. But what they wanted to curry favor with was Piao Miao Peak of the 8 heavens. They had no choice but to say a few ambiguous words. Just at this moment, a noisy sound came from afar. What's going on? Don't you know that my Shu family has distinguished guests today? Yi Hai angrily rebuked with a displeased face. Bang! A loud bang. The enormous corpse of Piao Miao Peak's spirit beast mount, the heavenly azure white beak, fell into the courtyard. What? Seeing this, the people from Piao Miao Peak's faces darkened, filled with uncontrollable rage. The other hundreds of people all showed expressions of shock. This heavenly azure white beak, that was a celestial venerable realm cultivation. It was directly killed. Who killed my mount? Wang Ziyan shouted with an angry expression. The surroundings were silent. Just then, bang! Another loud bang. A corpse fell in front of them. Tianer. Yi Hai looked at the corpse of his eldest son, Yi Tian, with an expression of disbelief. Oh, this Shu family is quite lively today, isn't it? Hearing this voice, those strong cultivators trembled all over. Above the void, Shu Fengqiu, with his hands behind his back, slowly descended into the Yi family courtyard. Xiao Li was right beside Shu Fengqiu. Then, Shu Fengqiu landed in front of the main seat that originally belonged to Piao Miao Peak and gracefully sat down. Shu Fengqiu casually crossed his legs and glanced at everyone. All eyes were fixed on Shu Fengqiu. The only ones who recognized Shu Fengqiu were Yi Feng and Jongqing, who were present. The other powerhouses from the third heaven and fourth heaven did not have that privilege. They only felt that this handsome young man in front of them was extraordinary. He had silently annihilated the celestial venerable realm spirit beast of Piao Miao Peak. What kind of realm must that be? Seeing Shu Fengqiu, Yi Feng felt a shiver run down his spine. Jongqing, on the other hand, felt a sudden thump in her heart. How could he come to the first heaven? Tian'er. My Tian'er. Yi Hai's hands trembled as he looked at his son's corpse in disbelief. Who are you? Yi Hai pointed at Shu Fengqiu and roared. Wouldn't you know if you asked your son? Wang Xian's eyes narrowed. No matter who you are, you will die today. And what kind of thing are you? Shu Fengqiu sent a slap through the air. Piao Miao Peak's elder Nanshan flashed in front of Wang Xian, blocking Shu Fengqiu's casual slap from afar. However, he spat out a mouthful of blood and was sent flying directly. Whoosh! Seeing this, everyone's eyes widened. Immortal Emperor. Another Piao Miao Peak powerhouse showed a cautious expression, then clasped his hands. Who is your excellency? Piao Miao Peak and your excellency should have no grievances, right? The legendary Immortal Emperor. The powerhouses from various sects swallowed their saliva, looking at Shu Fengqiu in shock. An Immortal Emperor so young. Shu Fengqiu took an orange handed to him by Xiao Li, took a bite, and then spit it out. Pa, it's too sour for this emperor. Xiao Li was startled and was about to apologize. Shu Fengqiu sent a slap through the air, directly sending Yi Hai flying. Seeing his father in such a state, Yi Feng could no longer hold back. Shu Fengqiu. Yi Feng roared. What do you mean? Whoosh. What? Shu Fengqiu. He is the youngest immortal emperor, young master Shu Fengqiu of the Shu family from the eight heavens. Hiss, why would he condescend to come to this first heaven? Has his grudge with Yi Feng not ended yet? Yi Feng's elder brother, Yi Tian, was killed by him. It seems this immortal emperor Shu doesn't plan to stop. No way. He is a dignified immortal emperor and young master Shu of the Shu family. Every move he makes represents the face of an immortal emperor and the Shu family. He shouldn't do something so untrustworthy, should he? The two powerhouses from Piao Miao Peak also looked solemn. It was actually Shu Fengqiu of the Shu family. What do I mean? Your Yi family's oranges are too sour for this emperor. As the Yi family head, shouldn't your father be punished? Yi family head, what do you say? Shu Fengqiu looked at Yi Hai, who was getting up from the ground, with a smile. Yes, Immortal Emperor, your excellency is right, Yi Hai said through gritted teeth. Wang Xian stepped out, glaring at Shu Fengqiu. Did the Yi family make you eat it? Shu Fengqiu raised an eyebrow. Oh. This emperor gave the Yi family such a big gift, and Yi Tian was left with a complete corpse. Shouldn't I eat it? Even so, why did your excellency kill my son, Yi Tian? Yi Hai asked through gritted teeth. Shu Fengqiu smiled, and said nonchalantly, Yi Tian insulted this emperor, shouldn't he be killed? Yi family head, do you think he should be killed? Yi Hai dared not defy Shu Fengqiu's words, so he could only swallow his bitterness and said through gritted teeth, he should be killed. Then that's right. Wang Xian pointed at Shu Fengqiu and asked, Shu Fengqiu, hand over brother Yi Feng's supreme bone right now. Shu Fengqiu showed displeasure. Noisy. Then he slapped her with a backhand. Another Piao Miao Peak powerhouse fully blocked it, then reminded him. Young Master Shu, this is the sect master's daughter of my Piao Miao Peak. Shu Fengqiu stroked his chin. Piao Miao Peak, is it? Yes. Wang Xian looked at Shu Fengqiu with a proud expression. In terms of status, she was theoretically not much inferior to Shu Fengqiu. Shu Fengqiu glanced at the two Piao Miao Peak powerhouses and said, if she says another word, this emperor will directly kill her. Did you hear me or not? One powerhouse frowned. Young Master Shu. Shu Fengqiu's tone became a few shades heavier. Did you hear me, or not? The two powerhouses gritted their teeth. We heard. Shu Fengqiu then looked at the powerhouses from various sects. Their hearts gave a thump. Shu Fengqiu reached out to Jian Yunyu, the sect master of the Nine Swords sect. Jian Yunyu's heart trembled violently, and he quickly saluted. Young Master Shu. Then, he was lifted into the void, kicking his legs powerlessly. Then Shu Fengqiu exerted force, and Jian Yunyu's neck was directly twisted off. Hiss. Everyone gasped. Wang Xian, who was originally preparing to chatter endlessly. Seeing this scene, her heart inexplicably trembled. Shu Fengqiu glanced at them and said, the reason this emperor killed him, I believe you all are very clear. Yes. Yi Feng provoked you, he was like an ant in front of you, and you even dug out his supreme bone. This Jian Yunyu was still praising Yi Feng, isn't that going against you? That's right, he deserves to die. They frantically changed their stance in fear. Shu Fengqiu nodded slightly. Do you all think so? Yes. They nodded repeatedly. Shu Fengqiu said nonchalantly. Then there's no problem. In 5 breaths, anyone who had the same actions as this person earlier, kill yourselves. Otherwise, within your 9 generations of family and sect, this emperor will kill them all, leaving no one alive. Gulp. As soon as these words came out, everyone swallowed their saliva. The powerhouses of Piao Miao Peak looked at Shu Fengqiu, this junior, in shock. How ruthless Shu Fengqiu is. Gulp. Wang Xian looked at Shu Fengqiu with a genuine fear. They were all peers, why could he reach such a level? A powerhouse looked at Shu Fengqiu tremblingly and immediately knelt down. This. Young Master Shu, just now it was just. Shu Fengqiu said indifferently. 5. Young Master Shu, spare my life. Another powerhouse knelt down. Shu Fengqiu peeled an orange idly. 4. Young Master Shu, I am willing to serve you as your horse and saddle. Young Master Shu. Shu Fengqiu. 3. Xiao Li glanced at Shu Fengqiu, then lowered her head. So handsome, so domineering. Ding. Xiao Li's favorability towards you +5, current favorability, 10. A powerhouse trembled all over, then gritted his teeth and roared. I ask young Master Shu to keep his word. With that, he directly cut his own throat with a sword. No choice. He didn't want to die. But just now, to curry favor with Piao Miao Peak, he had also spoken well of Yi Feng. He was afraid. He was afraid that if he didn't admit it, Shu Fengqiu would really kill his entire clan. He had a son, a daughter, a wife, he couldn't harm them. Not to mention the Shu family behind Shu Fengqiu. An immortal emperor Shu Fengqiu alone was enough to destroy their entire sect. Shu Fengqiu remained unmoved, lowered his head and ate an orange segment, not even looking up, and said indifferently, 2. Seeing this, some people also showed expressions of despair. My son, your father can no longer see you. Take care. One person condensed spiritual power, slapped his own forehead, and then fell straight down. Then other people followed suit, one by one, falling down. Shu Fengqiu had just finished an orange, then wiped his hands, and glanced at the 2 powerhouses from Piao Miao Peak. The 2 from Piao Miao Peak, did you say anything? Young Master Shu's words made the 2 powerhouses from Piao Miao Peak tremble uncontrollably. What did he mean? Did he mean that if they also spoke well of Yi Feng, young Master Shu would even make them die? What a joke. They were people from Piao Miao Peak. And while the 2 of them were not immortal emperors, they were still in the heavenly Dao realm. They had been famous for a long time and were prominent figures in the 9 provinces continent. How could they be scared by a mere young Master Shu? Were they going to lose their dignity? However, young Master Shu had been so decisive and ruthless just now. They were genuinely a little intimidated. What? Even if our Piao Miao Peak speaks well of brother Yi Feng and goes against you, do you still dare to kill our Piao Miao Peak's people? Wang Xian raged. Miss. Venerable Nanshan of Piao Miao Peak quickly reminded her. What? I just spoke. Our Piao Miao Peak isn't afraid of the Shu family. And, young Master Shu, remember this, everything you've brought upon brother Yi Feng, I will get justice for him. I will kill you, and I will kill your Shu family members. Brother Yi Feng, let's go. Wang Xian grabbed Yi Feng, preparing to leave. Alright, let's go. Yi Feng also wanted to leave this place quickly. Who knew what young Master Shu wanted to do? Young Master Shu sat there and raised his hand. Young Master Shu, you wouldn't dare. Venerable Nanshan roared upon seeing this, charging directly at young Master Shu with terrifying might, intending to protect Wang Xian. Scram. The moment young Master Shu released his immortal emperor's pressure, the void instantly changed, with winds and clouds swirling. A terrifying force directly blasted Venerable Nanshan away. Then, young Master Shu lifted Wang Xian into the air from a distance. Even though Wang Xian unleashed her God Emperor realm power to resist, it was completely out of her league. You wouldn't dare. My father is the Piao Miao Peak Master. If you bully my brother Yi Feng, I'll kill your entire family. Wang Xian roared. Young Master Shu tightened his grip slightly. Stop it. Venerable Nanshan roared loudly. Crack. Wang Xian's neck was directly snapped by young Master Shu. Thud. Wang Xian's lifeless body fell to the ground. Holy crap. The surrounding people's eyes widened. What? He killed the Piao Miao Peak Master's daughter. Miss Wang's status, even across the entire 9 provinces continent, was outstanding. She was just killed by him. It's over. Now, Piao Miao Peak and the Shu family are bound to have a war. Who would have thought he would actually kill Miss Wang? How ruthless young Master Shu is. How dare he do such a thing? Even if Piao Miao Peak's overall strength is not as good as the Shu family's, it is still a hegemon of the 8 heavens. Young Master Shu. Venerable Nanshan's eyes widened as he roared. To be honest, he felt that young Master Shu would at most injure Wang Xian, right? But he actually killed her directly. Was he crazy? Oh, you dare to call this emperor's name directly? Venerable Nanshan's pupils constricted. Then, young Master Shu pointed a finger at the sky. Venerable Nanshan subconsciously wanted to run, but the might of the Immortal Emperor made him unable to move. The clear sky suddenly darkened, and a giant vortex appeared, as if the sky was churning. From within the vortex, a terrifying bolt of heavenly lightning poured down. In an instant, Venerable Nanshan was reduced to ashes. This scene terrified Yi Feng. It's over. His only support was gone now. Was young Master Shu crazy? Didn't he consider the consequences? Xiao Li's small mouth was slightly agape. Young Master, he is so terrifying. Although she was afraid of young Master Shu, she had to admit that at this moment, looking at young Master Shu, she felt a slight sense of admiration. The other powerhouse from Piao Miao Peak showed a terrified expression. Young Master Shu glanced at him. You are quite lucky, this emperor still needs you to go back to Piao Miao Peak to report the news. Young Master Shu, you are provoking a war between Piao Miao Peak and the Shu family. Young Master Shu said indifferently, take a message back to your Piao Miao Peak. Those who disrespect this emperor, if they are killed, then they are killed. But this emperor is still not appeased. If you don't come to the Shu family to kneel and apologize within 3 days, this emperor will destroy Piao Miao Peak. Now, scram. Good. This old man remembers. I hope you have the ability. That powerhouse gritted his teeth and left directly with the 2 corpses. Young Master Shu then wiped his hands and looked at Yi Feng. You promised Miss Luo you wouldn't kill me. A gentleman's word is his bond, right? Yi Feng said tremblingly. There was such a thing. Yi Feng let out a long sigh of relief. At least his life was saved. Do you still remember what this emperor said? Yi Feng frowned. You said you'd give Miss Luo face and spare my life today. It's good that you remember, at least you won't die with grievances, right? A sharp glint flashed in young Master Shu's eyes. A cold light flashed past. A bloodstain immediately appeared on Yi Feng's neck. Yi Feng's body trembled. He raised his hand to cover his neck, blood constantly rolling in his mouth. He stared at young Master Shu with wide eyes and said, "Why? Didn't you promise?" Young Master Shu said, I spared your life that day. What day is it today? Is there a problem? Thud. Yi Feng fell down. Ding. Yi Feng's destiny value has been cleared. Rewards obtained. Chaos body, undying body, heavenly doctor saint technique, destiny value plus 1 million. Awesome. The others looked at the scene before them in terror. This young Master Shu was too ruthless. He was simply fearless. Like a madman. Did he even completely disregard his reputation? A dignified immortal emperor came to the first heaven to kill Yi Feng. Moreover, he had even promised others not to kill him. He went back on his word. And, how many sect masters from the third heaven and fourth heaven died by his hand today? A powerful figure cares most about their reputation. Did he truly not care how the world would evaluate him? If an immortal emperor could truly do whatever he wanted in the first heaven, third heaven, and fourth heaven, then wouldn't this continent be in chaos? But he just did it. Crazy. Fenger. Yi Hai's eyes widened as he roared. Young Master Shu ignored him, glancing at Jongqing. Thud. Jongqing immediately knelt on the ground in fear, crawling towards young Master Shu. Young Master Shu, please don't kill me. I'll do anything you ask. Qingxie isn't worthy of being your concubine. You can treat me as just a plaything, play with me however you like, just don't kill me. Jongqing cried as she spoke. Upon hearing this, everyone shook their heads. Disgraceful. Young Master Shu didn't even bother to look at her, then gently ruffled Xiao Li's beautiful hair, saying tenderly. Xiao Li, let's go. Ah, okay. Then, young Master Shu led Xiao Li, stepping over the corpses, and left the Yi family. Xiao Li whispered, Young Master, when this matter spreads across the continent, your reputation will likely be greatly affected. Young Master Shu said indifferently with his hands behind his back, if this emperor cared about such things, would I still act this way? Oh. Xiao Li nodded slightly. If you ever get bullied in the future, don't hesitate. Although you are young, your cultivation is still very high. Just kill them, and this emperor will handle everything for you. Thank you, young master. Young Master Shu smiled and asked. It's been a long time since you've been to the mortal world, hasn't it? Xiao Li nodded. Come, this emperor will take you out to have some fun. Upon hearing this, Xiaoli's beautiful eyes lit up. Why was young master suddenly so good to her? See can I? Of course, let's go. Thank you, young master. Ding, Xiaoli's favorability towards you +5. Current favorability, 15. Meanwhile, within the Divine Wind Empire in the First Heaven, in a remote village. Within the Divine Wind Empire of the First Heaven, in a remote village. On a beautiful lawn, a 16 or 17-year-old boy, with a straw hat covering his face, lay on the ground sunbathing, his legs crossed, a blade of grass in his mouth. Nearby, several cows grazed. The village was called Qingyan Village, a veritable paradise. Chu Ran had been adopted as a child and had lived in the village ever since, occasionally going to the nearby city to buy daily necessities. Today, he had heard about the 8 heavens in the city. How amazing, Chu Ran murmured longingly, if only I could become someone like Shu Fengqiu someday. Thud. A cow collapsed to the ground. Hearing the sound, Chu Ran immediately stood up and then ran over. The old cow lay on the ground, its eyes open, but its body unmoving. Only its eyes still revealed a murky light. In the light, Chu Ran's figure was running towards him. Old friend. Chu Ran knelt beside the old cow, his face resting against the cow's, his hand gently stroking it. Chu Ran's body trembled slightly, and a glimmer of crystal flickered in his eyes. It seemed to be as he expected. Old friend, you've worked hard all these years. This time, get some good rest. Chu Ran said softly. Murky tears slowly flowed from the old cow's eyes. The old cow had been tilling the fields for the family since Chu Ran was a child. It was even older than him. It could be said that the old cow had accompanied Chu Ran's growth. And the old cow was already too old. Moo. The old cow used all its strength, as if bidding farewell to Chu Ran. Then it completely closed its eyes. Old friend, rest in peace. Chu Ran leaned against him, sobbing. Under the setting sun, Chu Ran dug a large pit and buried the old cow. He bowed, then wiped away his tears, and led the 2 cows back to the village. From a distance, Chu Ran saw the entire village engulfed in flames. His pupils contracted. Father, mother, little sister. Chu Ran let go of the cows and ran towards the village. The peaceful and harmonious village had been massacred. Bodies lay there, their eyes wide open in death. Thud. Chu Ran knelt there, clenching his fists tightly. After a long time, Li Ming. Chu Ran looked up, his eyes blood red. On his body, a faint black light subtly emerged. His hair and clothes were wildly fluttering. At the same time, wind and clouds surged above the void. It seemed a certain power was awakening within him. Shu Fengqiu was eating with Xiao Li at a tavern in Tianyang City. Xiao Li was in a particularly good mood. She had been in the Shu family for so many years and only occasionally got to come out. She had never expected the young master to take her out to play. Xiao Li secretly glanced at Shu Fengqiu, who was slowly sipping his wine in front of her. She really felt that the young master had changed so much from before, like a completely different person. Ding. Xiao Li's favorability towards you +5, current favorability, 20. Ding. Xiao Li's favorability towards you has reached 20. Reward obtained. Heaven-defying comprehension, 10,000 poison body. 10,000 poison body. The supreme body of poison, immune to all poisons. Shu Fengqiu raised an eyebrow. Such a high-level reward for 20 favorability. He couldn't imagine what the reward for 80 favorability would be. Ding. A child of destiny has been detected. Oh. There were quite a few children of destiny in this first heaven. Shu Fengqiu mused inwardly. Then Shu Fengqiu investigated the newly appeared child of destiny. Child of destiny, Chu Ran. Destiny value, 890010, first tier child of destiny. Age, 18. Bloodline, human race. Physique, heavenly evil body. Realm, supernatural power realm 7th tier chi refining realm, body refining realm, acupoint opening realm, supernatural power realm, mystic heaven realm, mystic king realm, law realm, domain realm, divine sea realm, celestial venerable realm, god emperor realm, heavenly Tao realm. Each realm has 1 to 10 tiers. Breaking through the heavenly Tao realm leads to Immortal Emperor. Combat power score, 77. Introduction. An ordinary villager from Qingyan village in the Divine Wind Empire. Adopted by the villagers 18 years ago. The power of an ancient killing god is sealed within his body. The killing god's power has now begun to awaken. Killing god. Shu Fengqiu pondered inwardly. He was familiar with that. In the ancient era of the gods, the killing god Lu Teibai became famous throughout the continent through slaughter. The world called him the Killing God. Later, the Killing God Lu Taibai's power gradually became uncontrollable, and his will was corrupted by the backlash of his power. During that period, the human world suffered great devastation. Ultimately, various powerful individuals united to eliminate him. The Killing God of an era thus fell. Ding! You have triggered the quest Rise of the Killing God. Quest content: Subdue the future Killing God. When the Killing God rises, you will receive the ultimate reward. As the target's destiny value increases, the host will receive a tenfold system value return. Additionally, each time the target child of destiny's level advances, the host will receive a reward. Shu Fengqiu stroked his chin. Simply put, the system wanted him to take this future Killing God as a disciple and help him achieve the great Tao. The stronger he was, the stronger Shu Fengqiu would become. That's good too. Continuously triggering only destiny value clearing quests becomes uninteresting. Moreover, Shu Fengqiu genuinely wanted to build a powerful force of his own. The Shu family was strong, but not strong enough. Shu Fengqiu looked at Xiao Li and said, I have some matters to attend to back in the eight heavens. You shall find a young man named Chu Ran from Qingyan village here and bring him to me. Xiao Li obeys. Shu Fengqiu then vanished before her eyes. Boss, check please. Xiao Li placed a gold coin on the table. Oh, my lady warrior, that's too much, the innkeeper said quickly, looking flattered. I want to ask about something, Xiao Li said. Don't let Xiao Li's cautious demeanor in front of Shu Fengqiu fool you, she was at least a maid of the Shu family. Her cultivation had even reached the divine sea realm. Looking across this first heaven, she was a hegemonic existence. Please, speak. Where is Qingyan village? Xiao Li asked. Oh, my lady warrior, Qingyan village is gone. Xiao Li's delicate brows furrowed. Gone. Just yesterday, Qingyan village was massacred. All the villagers died. It seems only a young man named Chu Ran is still alive. Hearing this, Xiao Li breathed a sigh of relief. It was enough that the person the young master mentioned was still alive. Do you know where Chu Ran is? The innkeeper, coincidentally, he is in Tianyang City, arrested by the Tianyang City Lord. Why? The innkeeper said, last night, Li Ming, the eldest young master of the Li Mansion in Tianyang City, was killed. Chu Ran was at the scene at the time. Thank you. Xiao Li then walked out. Please come again, my lady warrior. At this moment, inside the city lord's mansion, Chu Ran knelt there, a talisman affixed to his body. This was a spirit sealing talisman. It could prevent martial artists from activating spiritual power. Surrounding him were a large number of soldiers from Tianyang City and onlookers. The Tianyang City Lord sat in front. The city lord's eyes narrowed slightly. Chu Ran, you said you witnessed the entire process of Li Ming's murder last night, is that right? Yes, Chu Ran said indifferently. HMPH. Then I ask you again, what did the killer look like? I didn't see the killer's face, Chu Ran said calmly. Bang. The city lord slammed his palm on the table, shattering it, then pointed at Chu Ran and roared. You scoundrel. I have investigated. Li Ming had a conflict with you a few days ago. You, Chu Ran, killed Li Ming last night. Do you admit that you did this? Ha 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 ha. Chu Ran laughed loudly, his eyes narrowing. He, Li Ming, massacred my entire village without guilt, and I, Chu Ran, am guilty for killing him. City Lord, was it Li Ming who asked you to send people to massacre Qingyan village? Is that right? The city lord's eyes also narrowed. Indeed. According to my investigation, the entire Qingyan village consisted of evil scoundrels from the heavenly ghost sect. Qingyan village was merely one of their small strongholds. Killing evil sect members is the fundamental duty of all martial artists on the continent. Chu Ran looked at the city lord, his eyes flashing with killing intent. To condemn a person, one can always trump up a charge. The city lord said indifferently, and you finally admit that you killed Li Ming. Chu Ran gritted his teeth. When did I not admit it? When did you ever admit it? Chu Ran's eyes were blood red, staring at the city lord with endless killing intent, a bloodthirsty and ferocious smile appearing at the corner of his mouth. City lord, why do you think I kept emphasizing that I witnessed the entire process, but didn't see the killer's face? The city lord's brows furrowed sharply. That's the end of part 1. Part 2 is coming soon.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and support our channel for more stories.